So I was looking at merry old YouTube and I was recommended a video that was, yet again, about a YouTuber that I happened to watch being attacked by someone else. And so I decided to respond to this video by looking at it and making a video on it. Because, hey, if Twitch streamers can watch a Twitch streamer watching a Twitch streamer watching a Twitch streamer, then why don't I and my low subscriber ass do this for content? Because I clearly have nothing else going on. So, without further ado, here is a video done called Razorfist Whiny Edgelord Rant on April O'Neil. Now, for context, Razorfist did a video talking about the trailer that was released for the animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that's coming up that's being produced by Seth Rogen. Now, that movie's going to be a crock of shit, but the thing is that I personally did a video when I basically agreed with everything that Razorfist had to say about the subject, where essentially the turtles are kind of held in in infamy for being the way that they are, and then people remembering them the correct way. So these terrible changes that they're doing to these characters, essentially, they don't work when it comes towards doing anything to the legacy characters. And essentially, he was kind of confirming that, and I just agreed with it. Now, at the same token, I still get upset when I see this because I don't care. I mean, I said that wrong, because I do care about actually keeping a character to their justifiable way in how they were basically showcased back in during their inception. I don't want to see a known white character turn black. I would rather just see a good black character. But that's not how stupid people work and operate. So because of that, we basically have Black April O'Neil within the TMNT. So this is essentially someone responding to Razorfist talking about that. And so without further ado, here we go. Now I find this hilarious. just, just, uh, just, just hear me out on this one. It begins with a fair use disclaimer, right? So hopefully, I hope that this also would be used for them themselves. So I'm going to have this play in the beginning, just so everyone understands. And I was like, well, since they're doing fair use, so am I. So here we go.
This Organized Chaos video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you.
Okay, so it says, Razorfist doesn't care about April O'Neil, which is why he made a video complaining about April O'Neil. Okay. I don't know what to make of that, but okay.
Okay, so, Soylent Meltdown. That sounds like a respectable video. Rage. Holic. Soylent Mayhem, a rant. Is that a common thing he does, or are you talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one? I'm not seeing anything else. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm leaning towards the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, because I'm not seeing anything else.
Seth Rogen's long-awaited, frequently dreaded deboot of the Heroes in a Half Shell is here, albeit only in trailer form. Oh, sorry, did I say Seth Rogen? I meant permanent teenager Seth Rogen.
That's a self-report right there. A little bit I know of you, that's a self-report. Like, Jesus.
But how's that a self-report? I don't... Okay, you know. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna be here all goddamn day. But I'm very confused. How was that a self-report? Yeah. Anyway. Full disclosure, I do not want to see this trailer again.
Well, he said deboot because it's like a reboot, but it's backwards, even though... this isn't a previous version of Turtles, so that term doesn't even work. I don't think they know what words mean.
I don't think you know what words mean. I'm sorry that I didn't cut there correctly, but he's clearly making fun of it because they're going about their way of essentially, again, they're trying to reinstall the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in film form, and they're going about it in a negative way that is not something that people who like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles actually want to see. If you understood that, then yeah, that probably is why that phrase kind of went over your head. But this isn't something to look at and be like, oh, like he's like he's getting all this wrong, he's getting all this wrong. It's like, yeah, well, he's clearly not happy at the direction that this movie is going to be taken. He happens to be a very big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. So obviously, a lot of his criticism comes from a place of love, generally speaking. So yeah, even if like if your argument is that he doesn't know what words mean, my argument is that you don't understand satire. So yeah.
See their head spin when you ask them what woke means. You can tell. You.
Love it.
The fuck does that got to do with anything?
Speaking of that, I just love that clip so much. We're gonna have to play it. Let's see their head spin, defining, So what is woke?
Of Americans consider themselves very liberal, and probably fewer of them consider themselves to be woke. And so, when we
what
talk
does that
about
mean
traditional
to you? Would you mind defining woke? Because it's come up a couple times, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
So, I mean,
why the fuck are you showing this thing? Going on a goddamn tangent in a video, but this is weird. Oh my goodness. Hey man, your show. You do what you want.
woke is sort of the idea that this is going to be one of those moments that goes viral. I mean, woke is something that's very hard to define, and we've spent an entire chapter defining it. It is sort of the understanding.
If you spent a whole chapter defining it, one would think you would know. Anyways.
Yeah, but what the hell is that got to do with Razorfist? And why even show this clip? What does that have to do with Razorfist? I'm very confused. Like this, like you're putting up someone who essentially didn't know how to define the phrase of woke. But again, is this Razorfist doing this, or is there someone who essentially would have the same views as him? I don't understand. It's like you just got a clip and you're playing it out of context, and for some reason this validates some point that you did not make. This is weird. This is so weird.
We all know that clip is great. All right. Is he just going to play the whole trailer? I guess that's easy content. He just barely etches this thing over 8 minutes is the minimum length to get YouTube monetization, by the way.
Stay still. Stay still. No.
Oh. You were baby turtles who made
Oh, well, he cut it up there. Okay.
contact with mystery goo.
Well, we prefer the term ooze, but yeah.
It's like more like, it's just nicer.
It rolls off the tongue better, yeah.
The heck are those things? They look more like little Shreks to me.
Seth, baby, you're not a permanent teenager. That's called a...
Yeah, no, that would be you with your weird lighting scheme. Being a having creative lighting scheme. I don't want to bash you too much, but your indoor sunglasses, even though it's obviously dark. Wow.
Rested.
Bitch, you got fucking Christmas lights in their background. What the fuck are you complaining about lighting scheme? It's Razorfist's look. Like, now he's gone on film in like his earlier videos, much earlier videos, without having his glasses. But it's just his distinct look, and it's like, if someone's comfortable dressing that way, they're comfortable dressing that way. You obviously like t-shirts. That's not a criticism on you as a person, you like wearing t-shirts. I like wearing t-shirts. It's what I'm comfortable in. And so if he's wearing something that he's comfortable in, that's what the fuck does that have to do with this video? Jesus Christ.
Cognition. It's a side effect of your entire career being a 4-decade fucking clam bake. I hate people who think it's cool to take drugs. Fucking customs officers. And then there's April.
I hate people who think it's cool to take drugs.
He's being satirical. That was a satirical thing. That was a joke. Jesus Christ, that was a fucking joke. Why are you pausing after the joke? He didn't even get into the subject matter of his video yet. He said a joke.
I don't have any issue with people who take drugs. I don't, but
So why the fuck again? Why are you pausing it? You just it's a joke. Jesus Christ. Whether it makes you laugh or not, it's a joke. That's it. Move on.
what does that even have to do with anything, dude? That's like
The same could be said to you, stupid. What the fuck? It was a joke. God damn it.
such a fucking side topic. What? Just because Seth Rogen smokes weed?
It's a joke. Fuck, I gotta put my face back on the screen. It's a fucking joke. You move on. You move the fuck on. How's that hard for you to understand that this is a joke? It's just a joke. It's a joke. I wanted to see this so I can talk about him title. I'm in this for the wrong reasons. I'm in this for the wrong reasons. God damn it. Oh, bitch.
Who cares?
April O'Meal. April Obese, if you will. So wait, the turtles sit around eating pizza all day, but April is the one who gets fat? Huh. So they are dating. What?
It's just a different look for her. Move on.
Is this?
Oh, fuck no. It's not that it's a different look for her. Why is April O'Neil fat? April O'Neil is not black. She is not fat. She is neither of those things. Yet, that's what we gave her. That's what they gave us. For what? Who is this to inspire? Who is this to be fun for? Who is this supposed to sell to? I like, it's not just a different look for her. It's not April O'Neil. April O'Neil is none of these things. And aside from the fact that they're just going to have her be a reporter, that's probably going to be the only characteristic that she has that's similar. But that's not April O'Neil, and that's not something to look at and go, it's just a different look, and then you move the fuck on. No, that's not April.
Adipose osmosis or some shit? If proximity to poor eating habits made you fat? Amazing atheist.
What? Does he even know what he's talking about? This isn't even critique. This is just I'm making up shit and critiquing the shit I'm making up.
What the fuck are you talking about? He is critiquing. He's talking about the fact that she's fat. April O'Neil is not fat. There is no comic with April O'Neil being fat or black. The main staple being the black part. But there's no comic that exists created by the people who done Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where she is fat and black. So he's not making up things. He's literally giving a critique. He's someone who reads the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic books. He's seen the movies. He likes the characters. And he's talking about the fact that they have taken April O'Neil and made her black and fat. He's not making shit up. It seems like the long pause that you're having is because of the fact that you can't comprehend what he's talking about. Or you just plainly don't understand the big words that he's using. But that's an issue that you can rectify very easily.
Like, that's not critique, bro. That's you writing bad fan fiction and then criticizing your own bad fan fiction for being bad, and yeah.
What about what he said was bad fan fiction? If he's complaining about the fact that April does not look like she's originally supposed to, then how the fuck is that fan fiction? Fan fiction would be that he's talking about something that does not exist. If April was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater, that would be fan fiction. But he's not. He's complaining about the fact that April O'Neil doesn't look like the way she's supposed to. That's stupid motherfucker. This is a critique. That is a critique. To complain or to talk about or to showcase and highlight something that is something you either disagree with, don't like, or don't care for within any frame or body of work is a critique. You don't like the animation on a movie. That is a critique. I don't like the way how a character talks. That is a critique. I don't like the way how this looks. That is a critique. Fucking idiot.
It's bad. I agree. That is bad.
Its entire audience would be type 2 diabetics. Both of them. So when did April turn into April, May, June, and July? Simple. When you're 12 unnecessary reboots deep and your well of ideas is drier than a Mass Effect video essay, leaving you with but one.
We don't know that. We haven't seen the movie.
You dumb motherfucker. That is what a trailer is supposed to do. A trailer, by design, is meant to entice and inspire people to go see the full body of work. Now, if this is met with negative reception, that showcases exactly what is going to happen to the entire body of work. They've been doing this since the beginning of time. Trailers are meant to make you want to go see something. And when you look at something, then trailers showcase what that thing is, and you don't like what you see, then you know what either is wrong with it or what you will not like about it. A lot of people saw the trailer for Flash, and then they thought that it might be good. And then they went to go see it, and it turned out that they hated it. I saw the trailer for Flash, thought it might be good, went to go see it, and I actually kind of liked it. Hey, different strokes for different folks. But it doesn't change the fact that there is a huge abundance of people who justify their movie-going expenditures on trailers. You cannot sit there and say you cannot judge a movie because the movie hasn't come out yet. Yes, you can. You can judge the movie based off of the trailer because that's what the trailer is supposed to do. I'm talking in circles. All right, just Jesus Christ. This is we're dealing with a very dumb person. This is a dumb thing.
Recourse. Make them gay, fat, brown, or all of the above. And Mutant Mayhem appears to be slamming every button all at once. If I may table a somewhat crass physiomechanical query, how the hell does April even fit down the fucking manhole? I can barely...
The fuck?
It's because she's fat.
The fuck, man?
What? She's fat.
I mean, that's not even a real critique. I assume he's trying to tell a joke, but, like...
It is a joke, you moron. It's a joke over the fact that she's fat. She's fat. Fat. She's a fat fuck. And her fat ass can't fit down the fat manhole because she's fat. And she can't run. She can't run or do anything because she's fat. She's just, what up, guys? And it was like mutants and other creatures and a foot chasing after. Remember on Family Guy when they had slow children, fast animals? That's April. Oh, wait up, guys! I got honey all over my leg. She's so fat. Oh my god, it's just ugly to look at. Like just not appealing whatsoever. I'm pretty sure one of the people who helped design her was probably fat too, because it's like I need representation. Cindy, you want to get the jelly donut out of your mouth? Don't call me by that name. It is a dead name. My name is Maurice. Terrible. I'm just terrible.
She doesn't even appear that, like, massively huge or anything. Yeah.
Compared to what April O'Neil is supposed to look like, that bitch big. Fuck.
She's definitely overweight and should...
Uh-oh, careful with your words here. You might spark some controversy if you sit there and say that she might need to slim down for health reasons, because how dare you deny her truth, the fat bitch.
I don't know why. It could be an animation style, or it could be the character supposed to be overweight.
You dumb motherfucker. What? I don't know why she's big. It could be an animation style, and the character's supposed to be over. Yeah, of course they want her to be overweight. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made her fat. She's fat. Jesus Christ.
But, yeah, I mean, move on.
Get down one way.
Move on? Why would you move on from that? That is a character assassination. That is taking something that innately is not one thing and then making it that thing for absolutely no reason whatsoever. There is no reason to make April O'Neil both black and fat, and then most likely she's going to be gay as well. There's no reason to do that other than the fact that these people have this stick up their ass when it comes to doing these to these dope ass characters that essentially have existed for a long period of time, grew fandom for this long period of time, being the way that they were always meant to be, and then somehow someone went, let's change them. Well, that'll make people like them even more if we change them, because that's what the issue is. That's what people have wanted. That's what people strive for, and it's not a matter of going move on. Hell, take something that you love and then just up and replace everything that made it special so that it can fit a particular demographic that essentially doesn't even care about the subject matter. You'd be upset. You would be angry at that because you're finally seeing something that you wanted to see in a long time get its shining glory in film, media, or some other type of structure, whatever. And then they decide to change everything about it that made it special to you. This is why people don't enjoy this shit. This is why this stuff is not making money. This is why IDW is losing fucking money and they're about to declare bankruptcy because no one likes this stuff. They're doing horrible things to these legacy characters and they only have themselves to blame. So you don't need to move on. You need to poke fun and criticize them forevermore until they learn to get it right. Because as long as these assholes own these characters and they keep fucking them up, then you're never going to see them get the respect that they deserve.
My Twiggy Ramirez looking ass. What hope does Velma O'Neill have? But Razor, interchangeable SJW propaganda piece number 5372, claims Kevin Eastman's mixed race girlfriend was the basis for.
Well, I will go. I kind of hate that argument because now they always go back to it, and frankly, I don't care. I do not care if his mixed race girlfriend or ex-wife was the reason for the character or not. I don't, because this is like the 50th iteration of the Ninja Turtles and they're doing something different with April, and I don't care. All I care is if they do a good job, and I will say the teaser looked good, but I don't know, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't actually judge it. I will tell you, if it sucks, it has nothing to do with April being black or overweight.
Yeah, that was a dumb assessment. You can judge a movie before you see the movie. You can see a movie to basically confirm if your suspicions were correct, because the trailer, again, like I said, is supposed to entice you to go see said movie. Now, again, you can be led astray. This has happened before. I've seen a trailer for a movie I thought was a crock of shit, and then went to go see the movie, and then I was surprisingly mistaken. It happens. It happens, and it's totally fine that happens. But at the same token, when you're judging the movie based off of what you see, you have every right and distinction to make that argument about what you're seeing is fucking bad. And this isn't the 50th iteration of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's just another movie. It's another movie, and you can count on your fingers how many actual to theater movies have been done to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You have 3 movies done with Jim Henson, the puppets, the giant animatronics and the puppets. You have 3 of those. Then you have the TMNT animated movie. Then you also have the Michael Bay 2 movies. That is fucking 6. That's 6 movies. It's not the 50th iteration of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's 6 movies. Now, there have been a steady stream of cartoons, but you got the cartoon that was basically in the 80s, 90s. Then you had TMNT, which came on like Fox Box, 4Kids, and all that stuff. And then you had the 2 different Nickelodeon shows, the 3D one and then the 2D one, the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And again, you can count on your hand how many iterations of that has been for the Turtles. They've just existed for a long time, and those shows were all respectively, the shows and movies were respectively popular, just as the comics were with the Turtles, because they're very good, well-known, and well-liked characters. So, being upset at the fact that, hey, yet again, they're not showing the characters in the way that they're supposed to be shown, especially with something like animation, which would definitely be able to showcase and highlight stuff like the different types of mutants that they fought, the different crazy aspects that they got going on, stuff that the live action couldn't possibly be able to handle. And then honestly, what the live action failed in a lot of aspects, you can be able to see with animation that you wouldn't be able to get with the live action thing. So rather than just focusing on the things that they haven't done, which would be interesting in its own right because people haven't seen that aspect of the Turtles, instead they're going to change what already exists in order to facilitate some type of need that they have in order to have diversity, gay, then non-body shaming people, and also that weird thing where they keep changing all the genders in comic books and turning them into black people. They're constantly facilitating that, and that's just what they want to do. But to sit there and go that that's not an argument to be upset about when it's happening to something that you like or that you care about or things that doesn't need that at all, that's not an argument. The argument is that why are you changing something? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's no reason for April O'Neil to be fat, overweight, and black. Fat and overweight, two different things. It's so stupid. There's no need to do that. You can just have April O'Neil be April O'Neil because that's what people fell in love with, and then showcase the Turtles being the Turtles because that's what people fell in love with. I guarantee you one of the Turtles is going to be gay, and it doesn't make any, and it won't make any sense. But that's what people fell in love with, and then you just let that roll. You just do what the comics have done before you. You just make them bitches move. The shit will make money. It will print money if you just leave it alone and make it. But instead, people don't want to leave it alone. They want to make it their own, and that's why it's fucking stupid.
April O'Neil. Weird! For a few fucking reasons. First and foremost, it wasn't...
Also, to go back to him talking about the whole argument about what they did with the about the character being designed after there's like that again is something that people use to justify the argument that it's okay to turn April black. It's not okay to turn April black, but again, it is something that people use to try and justify the argument. Even though you don't care, it's still something that people bring up constantly. You not caring is not debunking it. You need to defer against it. You need to say something about it. Whether or not you just go, I don't care, that doesn't make it not true. It just means that you don't care. But that doesn't mean that that's not an argument to have. Now, Razorfist is going to bring up a well-established argument. Well, actually bring up the facts on why that aspect of it isn't even fucking true. But the fact that his response to that aspect is, hey, here's the actual facts behind that concept, while you are just, I don't care. That doesn't change the issue, nor does it change the notion. It's just, you don't care. Fuck.
Kevin Eastman's girlfriend, who's supposed to have been the source of the name, but a friend of Peter Laird's. And if it was Eastman...
Originally created as an Asian character in Pete's Notes, but named after an African-American woman I once knew, the character of April O'Neil was introduced in issue 2 and would have a bunch of different looks throughout Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles history. Originally created as an Asian character in Pete's Notes.
Okay, why the fuck are you reading it again?
But named after an African-American...
He's reading it again. He's reading the whole fucking thing again. Like, did you not understand it? What the hell? What was hard to comprehend with that? It's very simple. Originally, they created her as Asian, but they named her after an African-American. And then when they produced the comic, she was white. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all she wrote. Keep the last check. It's over with.
Woman I once knew.
He's reading it again. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, it seems weird that, like, obviously this would be Kevin because he's talking about Pete's note, so this would be Kevin's words. So, named after an African-American woman I once knew. So they're saying most likely a black woman. And I think it...
The fuck you think African-American means? Why are you trying to tiptoe around this? Is like, it's a staunch, hardcore fact towards what Razorfist was saying. It's right there in front of you. This is factual. This is something that the actual creator told you when it came towards the Turtles. One of the two. And again, he's talking about his discussion behind the other creator. So This is something that is confirmed. Both of them went through when they came to creating April O'Neil. So why are you trying to dance around this as if there's something that you can pick and prod to try and justify them making her black or whatever? And it's like, no, it's there in literal black and white. That, yeah, she was originally thought up to be Asian, and they named her after a black woman. That doesn't mean that she's supposed to represent or look like the black woman. She's just named after her. So then, if anything, it would be better speculation that, hey, we should make her Asian since that was the original intent. But that's not what's happening. They're making her black. But there was nothing involved with the creation of April O'Neil where she was meant or designed to look black. And then again, if you go by the very first comics, bitch ain't black or Asian. Bitch is white. That's a thing.
Be weird to talk about an ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife as a woman I once knew. Maybe it was fresh and you didn't really want to dive into it at that point.
What the fuck does that got to do with anything? That has nothing to do with anything.
But this doesn't contradict anything. This is actually...
It contradicts everything, you dumbass. What the fuck? It's the creator telling you we didn't design her to be black. So, the fuck? And if the argument was that, hey, everyone believes that she's designed after his black ex-girlfriend or ex-wife or whatever, and then come to find out that the creator was like, oh no, that's not what happened. We named her after a black woman that I knew. African-American that I knew. That's where her name comes from. And the original design was that she be Asian. That's it. That's very simplistic. That's why it's such a short little fucking couple of sentences. It's nothing. It's so much of a nothing thing that realistically, if people just did a little bit of research, they'd be able to prove and debunk that whole claim that, hey, she was always intended to be black. No, she wasn't. She was intended to be Asian, but she came out white. The end.
Just kind of reinforcing stuff. And it also is all this is actually bring up like the history of April O'Neil's ethnicity is all over the place.
No, it's not. It doesn't bring up her ethnicity being all over the place. Being named after someone black does not make you black, Jaquilla. The fuck wrong with you? Just because a character happens to be named after someone black, you're not black. And again, if their original intent was that she be Asian, but in the final product she wasn't Asian, she's not Asian. That's just, hey, I had an idea for an Asian character. Okay, by the time I'm finished writing my story, doing all my work, I don't want her to be Asian anymore. I'll make her white. Okay. Does that mean that she has Asian roots? No. It doesn't mean that she celebrates the Chinese New Year. No. It just means that was a thought, but we did not fulfill that thought. So then you move on. This is a situation of you moving on and understanding the facts. The bitch ethnicity ain't all over the place. Her name is April O'Neil. She's white with red hair. She's a reporter. She wears a tracksuit. That's how the original comic had her. Jesus Christ. This is so stupid. This is unbelievably stupid. This is someone who clearly hears what they want to hear and they ignore all facts that would prove the opposite. Prove the opposite of them being right. I guarantee you that as soon as a subject matter or something comes up that he feels is going to prove him right, that's the only thing he's going to talk about. That's the only thing he's going to talk about. Also, I'm gonna say that I think he might bring up like his subscriber counts and shit like that. You know, things that ain't got nothing to do with anything, but stuff that people like to use in order to like confirm exactly how right they are. Bitch, I got more subscribers than you, or how many views did this video get? How many likes did it get? Stupid shit like that. Ain't got nothing to do with it being right or wrong. And again, that also revolves into the concept of like, you know, can't really judge a book by its cover, or like, you know, views don't adequate to factual information or anything like that. But I guarantee you this is gonna come up.
Like this doesn't help your argument
yes,
at all. What is this?
It helps
like
a great deal.
I don't even have to go like deep into this to look at it and go, oh, that reinforces everything else that's already been said.
It helps his argument a great deal. It helps exactly what the fuck he was talking about, and then he proved how it was wrong, how the subject matter that everyone else brings up about April O'Neil's ethnicity is completely and utterly wrong. It is a fact. He just brought up a fact. This is not something that you can argue against. It is a fucking fact.
Not your argument.
Husband's girlfriend, again, not named April. There's pictures of the two together at conventions and shit, and my nipples are 9 shades darker than that bitch. And
You know, it's possible to be mixed, mixed, or even be African American, and just have lighter skin tone.
That doesn't have anything to do with what he's talking about, dumb fuck. It has nothing to do with what he's talking about. What he's saying, Jesus Christ, this guy's like so stupid. He's annoyingly stupid. What he's talking about is the fact that if she was designed after her, if their argument is that she is supposedly what the original design of April O'Neil was supposed to be, and she looks the way that she does, then why do they make April O'Neil so dark-skinned? Why is it that her features don't coincide with the features of his ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, or whomever? And then, again, if he personally stated that was not the case, then it's not the case at all. Then, again, that removes the notion of her being based off of someone black. But if you're legitimately going to go in terms of like, okay, you want to ignore the fact that the actual creator said, well, we did not design her after someone black. We just made her this way. We named her after a black lady that we knew, not my ex-girlfriend or ex-wife or whoever. And it's like, okay, you want to ignore that factual statement because you're fucking stupid. Fine, go ahead. But then when you look at the actual character that you believe she happens to be related to or whom she was created after, she's not as dark as the character that they're now personally about to release into the movies. And hell, she's not even as dark as the April O'Neil that they had in the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, whom they also had black. And again, that series got canceled. But they also made April black on that series, and she doesn't look like the aforementioned girlfriend, ex-wife, or whoever. So, yeah, that's an argument to have. Because if you're going to bring up that concept and you're going to claim that this is why it's okay to make her black, then why doesn't she look like the black person that she supposedly is supposed to look like? The fuck?
That's a possibility. And again, part of the reason I don't even like this argument, because we get all caught up into it, and I don't care.
Nigga, you don't care because when the facts are laid in front of you, you're too stupid to understand. Like you are fucking dumb. This is so dumb. Like you not caring doesn't change the facts. This is a legitimate argument that people use in order to confirm that April O'Neil needs to be black. But he just debunked it by giving you 2 sets of reasons, and logical reasons at that. One, an actual hardcore fucking truth, and the other one, a concept that basically goes against the notion of, well, if she was intended to look like someone that they knew that was black, then why doesn't she look like that person that they knew that was black? You not caring doesn't change the fact that he legitimately just proved. He was like, he proved why these people who make up this argument are fucking wrong. You should acknowledge that. Whether or not you care or not, you should at least acknowledge, like, yeah, what he's saying is true. But if your staunch belief on her being it's okay with her being black is that's fine. But again, what he said is what he said, and it's actually factual.
April is black in this iteration. Move on.
Second, then why in the earliest colored comics in 1986, a full year before the cartoon show, might I add, is she rocking her classic Caucasian redhead Slipknot jumpsuit ensemble exactly? Oh,
I don't care. Because
that doesn't change what the fuck he's saying. Because again, the argument is that a lot of these people believe that April O'Neil was always intended to be black, and that she was designed originally black, and in that the color scheme that they had for the comics and how those were done back in the day just kind of didn't highlight it, and then they just went full white, and then essentially she was whitewashed, when in actuality the character was always white. You not caring ain't got shit to do with it being a fact. and also go move on. That's not who the character is. She ain't fat and black. So yeah, it's okay for someone to go, I don't like this. If Captain America didn't have a shield, you can complain about that by going, this isn't Captain America. You have this character running around saying I'm Captain America, but he ain't got a fucking shield. He ain't Captain America. Who the fuck is this? Well, it's a different iteration of Captain America. That's not Captain America. I don't like him.
Because this is like the first or second iteration, and now we're like 50 iterations in. I don't care.
Almost as if Jerry curls and perms were popular even with white broads in the mid-'80s or some shit. Hell, the exact dialogue in the issue she unveils her new look in is, "What do you think of my new do?" She doesn't say, "Oh, and by the way, I'll be in blackface the next 50 fucking issues. See you on the set of Bamboozled." Stop fucking lying, you leering retards. You changed your race because Nickelodeon's racial and sexual quotas mean everything has to look like a fucking McDonald's commercial.
Nickelodeon thinks kids are ready for a conversation about race. Is that your source for that? April O'Neil is black because of an article. You don't even list the publication. I have to look this up.
What the fuck is wrong with this giant man baby? Like, this is weird. I don't associate with people like this. I don't. So when I see things like this, it confuses me because it's very hard to stomach listening to people that are like this. I don't understand. So you're going to sit here and criticize the source of this, but when he gave up actual information from the creator talking about how that's not how she's not black, you were like, I don't care. But with this, it's like, well, what's the publication? Where's the source of this? And again, he's using it to confirm the fact that this is why they're making her black. Not because she was ever black, but because of the fact that, hey, Nickelodeon wants people to talk about race, especially when it comes towards kids, which is something to, a swift kick in the pants to make sure you don't make any fucking money, because we're now seeing that parents are starting to get far more involved with the entertainment that their kids are privy to, because they keep shoehorning in all of this bullshit that they don't want their kids to see and talk about, because they're kids. They just need to be entertained. I need you to keep them away from me so I can relax. Keep their minds going so I can just have 5 minutes to myself, because fuck these kids. And last thing I want to do is to get up and see them and they go, Mom, what's a boy's magic hole? Oh my God. What the fuck were you watching? Disney Channel. Well, can't watch Disney no more because that makes you ask me stupid ass questions. All right, turn on Nickelodeon. Okay. I was like, why haven't a black suppressing? Jesus Christ, what are you watching? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You're talking about black oppression. What the fuck do mutant turtles gotta do with black people? Well, you see, April O'Neil was black, and perms were not a viable hairstyle for white women. Oh my goodness. This is so stupid. This is so unbelievably stupid. And he's like, I have to look this up. You see the title of the article. You can type in the title of an article and it'll pull up an article. Google is not hard to use. I mean, Bing, on the other hand, if that's your choice of web browser, more power to you. But yeah, that's not hard. Hell, he even has the name of the person who wrote the fucking article. That's not a hard thing to look at. Jesus Christ. I wonder if his goofy ass is going to try and look at this up. And look at this up. Why I say that like that?
Damn it.
This is
I hate this half-ass research shit.
This is something that's a problem for you. You having to do this. You don't have to look this up because the fuck. But again, how is this half-ass? He gave you the title of the article as well as the name of the person who wrote it. You can find said article now. That's not a hard thing to do. But yo dumbass is having issues with it because, again, you see, Razorfist is making him think when this is a very simplistic video, very simple and short video, but Razorfist is making him think because obviously this person does not do that. He does not think. So he's disturbed because he has to think. Fuck.
You know, at least, like, put the name of the publication in the article when you're posting the article.
That doesn't change anything, fucker. You can still find the article. It's not hard.
God damn it.
He's seriously upset.
Washington Post. Okay.
Oh, duh. Now that you know, you fucking know. Is it? Are you happy now? You stupid motherfucker.
Washington Post, which I'm pretty sure is owned by Jeff Bezos. So fun fact. Nickelodeon thinks kids are ready for a conversation about race. Done over 2 years, almost 3 years ago. And I can't read it because I'm not a subscriber. God damn, I hate this crap.
What do you hate? Like, if you want to do your research, you can do it. Now, I mean, you can go through a back door to read that. It's not hard to do. Shit's been archived. You can find it on like archives and shit like that. It's not hard to do. You for damn sure don't need to give your money to the Washington Post to just read news articles and whatnot. But you're stupid. So, like I said, this is going to be very difficult for him. Jesus Christ. We haven't done nothing. God damn. I again, so mad because it's like, it's small shit that doesn't need to be. But because it is, I waste so much time. I apologize if I waste so much of your time, but you understand. This shit makes me upset. But, yeah, content, whatever.
Fucking don't do this. I can go to conservative rags and read shit, but I can't read shit on... God damn it.
He gonna cry about it in the car.
That's how misinformation gets out there, guys.
You saw where the article was. Your punk ass just has to pay for it. See, now there's an issue. This isn't misinformation. He brought up an article. You were able to find said article. You just can't read it because you're not subscribed to the Washington Post. Now, he was able to read it and used it as basically ammunition in his argument. You, on the other hand, can't read it, and now you're going to say it's misinformation. No. You are more than capable of reading it. You just don't want to. Because, again, stupid. So stupid.
Everything has to look like a fucking McDonald's commercial. Own up to it already. I mean, you knew the moment a woman with red hair was a primary character in an eminently rebootable cartoon, she was about to be blacker than Dennis Leary's lungs. What did the Scottish and Irish ever do to piss off the pinkos in Hollywood, I wonder? Over the past decade...
Yeah, are we just doing this? Because I remember seeing this, and this is cringe. Like, I don't care.
You see, this is the lamentations of the dumb. When you're unable to back an argument, you tend to remove that argument from being talked about. What is it? It's that age-old saying, if you can't win an argument that you're having, just talk about an argument that you're having and then win it. See how that works? So to go, I don't care, doesn't change the fact that, yes, it is true and factual that there have been an abundance of characters that have had red hair within different forms of media, be it cartoon, comic books, and video games, that have gone through the motion of being transformed into black characters for some odd reason. Now, there has been no justification behind this, and it hasn't been done to other like-minded characters or other like skin characters or whatever, but characters that are definitely showcased and highlighted as having red hair have been turned black. Like, just completely. For some reason. Now, it's a mystery as to why they choose to pick them. And like they say, it's called gentrification. Now, it's a mystery as to why they decided to pick them, but it's also just fucking weird that it keeps constantly happening. This isn't a one-off thing. It's just that a majority of the time when it comes to race-swapping characters, they choose the redheads. And it's so weird. It's so unbelievably weird. But it's a jarringly glaring issue, especially when it comes to race swapping. So, yeah, him not caring doesn't change the fact that is something that's fucking weird and it keeps happening.
Don't care. Whatever happened to the argument of, hey, let's just bring on the best person for the job?
Because that argument can't happen. That argument can't happen because they don't do that. See, you can't say they're bringing on the best person for the job because there's particularly filling a role of a character that already exists. I've seen them before in visual media. So to say this is the best character for the job would mean that this character would have to, oh, I don't know, look like the fucking character. But if they don't look like the character, then how could you possibly say this is the best character for the job? This is the same thing that came up with the Ariel being black within the Disney movie, in the live action version of The Little Mermaid. You can't say that, yeah, well, the girl with the too far apart eyes is capable of playing Ariel because she can really, really sing, but she's someone that doesn't really have acting prowess. And then a lot of people actually criticize that upon seeing the movie. She's not that good of an actress, but she's capable of singing. But the thing is that you're telling me that you couldn't find a white girl that was capable of singing and playing the role of Ariel? Because I'm like listening to her voice and I was like, yes, she can sing, but she's not the best singer I ever heard. She's just a singer. But she also is black. So why not get a white girl that can sing? Get a white girl that's the best singer that you can find that happens to be a white girl with red hair that looks like Ariel. So even if she was white, she couldn't have freckles because Ariel doesn't have freckles. There you go. So it's like, all right, I need redhead, white skin, no freckles. You just got to be able to sing. So you go through that and then you pick the best character for the role. That's how that works. But if you are obviously going out of your way to not find a character that fits that description of a known character or whatnot, especially doing reboots, reimaginings, and remasters and shit like that, or live action adaptations, then you're not picking the best character, the best actor for the job, which is why that's a problem. Now, it's totally different when you see a portrayal of a character or the action or like the acting of a character that is just so far superior than everyone else that it's something to where it's like, hey, without this, we couldn't really make this the way that we made it because that actor was just so goddamn good. But still, it's a different, like, but this is like when you take things like, say, Shawshank Redemption, for example, where Morgan Freeman's character is named Red. Because in the book, in the novella, he is actually Irish and he has red hair. He has red hair, red beard, and everything. And he's called Red because of that. But then they make a joke in Shawshank Redemption when he goes, "Why do they call you Red?" And he says, "Can't you tell? I'm Irish." And they just laugh it off. But if you've seen Shawshank Redemption, Morgan Freeman's narration of that damn movie is so goddamn necessary for that movie to be amazing. His acting was phenomenal in that movie. And the book itself, or the novella, isn't a visual media. We didn't get a Shawshank Redemption cartoon. We didn't get a Shawshank Redemption short story that was played on TV or anything like that. It was adapted from a book that then was turned into a movie. And so that's far more forgivable when you're doing that because, again, the actions of the actor far outplayed the notion of, well, the character is supposed to be this, but Morgan Freeman's acting in it was so goddamn solid. Then there's no complaint to that. But again, if you're going to go out of your way to do shit that you have been naturally doing, where you've been race swapping, gender swapping, and completely changing the ideology of a character to fit your needs or whatever needs you think exist, and it has been blatantly shown and realized within a bunch of other different fucking media and shit like that, because you've been doing it over and over and over again to the point where people notice that you're not doing this because you're looking for the best person for the job. You're doing this to cause some type of to shine some light on some diversity, which doesn't make any sense. So again, this is different from back in the day when they picked the best actor for the job. When they actually did this with the notion of you're picking the best actor for the job. Now it's strictly for diversity and virtue signaling and all that other bullshit. And so because of that, it's so jarring and apparent that, yeah, this is wrong, this is bad, this is stupid, why are you doing this? Than it was back then, when, like I said, for Shawshank Redemption, where you had a character blatantly replaced and race swapped. But it was done in a way, but it was done towards a media that didn't have a visual enclave and like just a huge aspects of different things that you've seen. Where it's like, yeah, we've seen an Irishman play in Shawshank Redemption, the movie, the sequel, the reboot, or whatever. And so we got to see it the way that it was supposed to be seen as it was originally written by Stephen King. No, we got a movie that was an adaptation of a novella, and the movie was done picking the best actors for the job. So it's a huge different argument entirely when it's like basically you're being shown and given an abundance of not the best actor for the job, but literally just these are the people we want in these movies playing these characters over the best actor for the job. That's why we don't have that argument anymore, because it doesn't exist. The notion of the best actor for the job doesn't exist anymore.
And like these are all live action representations anyway. These are live action, like they're almost always animated versions, and they cast a live action person who happens to be black. Maybe they're the best person for the job. We don't.
You see how he's stupid? You see how he's fucking stupid? Yeah, they're not the best person for the job. You're dealing strictly with live action. And again, that evidence, there's so many versions of these redheaded characters being replaced with, literally black people. Not anyone else. Only black people. Like that picture should be screaming to a lot of creatives when it comes towards this shit, and other like producers and directors and showrunners and whatnot, to hey, stop doing this bullshit. It's just glaringly terrible that you see all of this shit and you would just sit there and try to still claim that hey, they're picking the best person for the job. They're clearly not. That's not the best person for the job. They're picking black people to replace white people because they want black people to replace the white people. That's what they're doing. That's what they're picking. That's what we're seeing. We're not seeing the best actor for the job. If we were, they would look like their respective counterpart, seeing as how their respective counterpart we've seen them in visual media before. Jesus Christ. Like, again, this is someone who clearly is stupid.
Don't know. We don't know. We have to see it. Like, especially Halle Bailey. She has a great singing voice.
What did I say? What did I say? Did I not just bring that up earlier? Jesus Christ.
See how she does as Ariel, but no, we gotta freak out because she's black.
We do freak out because she's black. Because people have seen Ariel for years. Hell, I can't stand the Little Mermaid animated movie. I can't stand it. But when I was younger, I consecutively watched the Little Mermaid cartoon. I used to always watch that. I watched that, Winnie the Pooh, Aladdin. Used to love those cartoons. Hell, I was there for when Gummy Bears, the first animated series Disney ever made, was there for that. But the thing is that Ariel was always presented as white. Ariel has always been consecutively presented as white. Hell, even when you go to Little Mermaid ride at Disney World, the bitch is still white. When they were releasing this movie, the bitch was still white. They had a play for the Little Mermaid. The bitch was white. And she had red hair. So, it's ridiculous that you would sit there and go, oh yeah, she's the best person for the job. Now again, this video was released long time before they released the Little Mermaid video, but at the time of me doing this, I'm doing this on like July 7th, 2023. And yeah, the Little Mermaid movie came out already. And again, a lot of people's critique towards it was that, yeah, her acting was terrible. And if you've seen it, yeah, her acting is really bad in that movie. She is really bad. Her acting is very bad in that movie. It's just bitch can sing. But how would that make her the best person for the job? See, again, it's the lamentations of the stupid.
That sounds like racism, bro.
That does not sound like racism. That sounds like a very jarring issue that is constantly being done within Hollywood over absolutely no distinguishable concept. Like, there's no reason to do this to these characters outside of the fact that they're trying to profit off of racism. They're trying to profit off of racism, if you will, by sitting there and going, hey, we stand with you black people by changing these white people black. That makes you, like, now don't you feel represented? Don't you feel glory now? Buy our shit. And again, that's what a stupid person would believe, because that's what these corporations and these companies are trying to do. But this dumb motherfucker sits here and believes that, hey, if you have this objective view towards this shit, which is glaringly an issue, then you obviously must be a racist. The fuck?
There is scarcely a remaining redhead who hasn't been transmogrified into a fucking film negative of herself. In 5 years, I fully expect Black Widow to look like Precious. What the fuck? Did Pippi Longstocking steal your lunch money? Redhead chicks have enough problems just trying to reach age 30 sans a schizophrenia diagnosis without you pissing in their potato salad. I mean, come on, Seth Rogen. She's a ginger. All you have to do to make her disappear is put her in the sun. She'll glow like Richard Spencer. But if she does make it down a manhole, it'll be about the only one the turtles aren't planning to plow. As early rumors appear to suggest.
I mean, this guy, I can't even take him seriously. The only reason I would take him seriously is because he has a shit ton of subscribers, doesn't he?
Am I not glory? Am I not just wise beyond my years? Jesus Christ. If I took this YouTube shit seriously, could I not do well? I don't, but could I not? How the fuck did I know? Of course he was going to bring up subscribers. Of course he was. Because that's the only thing that he validates. That's the only thing that he would take as validation. He can't take him seriously. Everything that he said, he has not debunked. He has not found a means of factual evidence to go against. He's just listened and went, I don't care. Why even fucking watch it? You see how stupid certain people can be? Jesus Christ. And these people are like-minded individuals. They have like-minded individuals listen to them and believe that they're right, which is why Screen Rant, comic book, CBR and shit like that have a bunch of people who read what they write and think that it's factual when all of it is bullshit. I literally have a friend who constantly brings up and talks about shit that essentially is like, yeah, as far as actual information on the nerd that is paying attention to this stuff, and if you're a huge fan of it, how can you not glaringly see that they're using this little small aspect to try and get your money when realistically this does not equal good content? It's just a gimmick. It's a small little gimmick in order to get you to put your ass in the seat, but it don't mean shit. Hell, I have a friend who essentially saw the Transformers Rise of the Beast movie, and you know how much I fucking hated that movie. He saw that movie and he was like, he liked it. He even if you go to my video, he wrote a glaring critique in my comment section about my assessment of the movie, and to which I replied to his comment. And then I saw him in real life because we worked together. When I saw him in real life, I just asked him. I went, "You were talking about negative shit in the movie, but you just said you disagreed with me. So then I asked you, what did you like about the movie?" And you know what he had to say to me? He didn't know. He just know that he likes the movie. Now, and again, I was taken back. A couple of my friends were standing around me and all of us were laughing. And I would, wait, what? How the fuck you like a movie, but you don't know what you like about it? That don't make sense. And I was like, so you can't bring up anything that can confirm or support your argument that my critique over this is wrong or bad because you happen to like something in the movie? And he was like, no. And I was like, but you know you don't agree with me, but you can't tell me what it is that you liked about the movie. Okay, it's a lot easier to just call you crazy. But that's what happens to these kinds of people. You have these kinds of people who essentially they're bad fans. They'll lop up anything that's thrown in front of them. They just eat the slop. They don't care what it is. They just want the slop. They don't care what it tastes like. They don't care what it looks like. They just want the slop. While you are sitting there and like you're able to ascertain that like, hey, you're capable of making me a full 5-star restaurant 4-course meal right now. And they're like, yes, we are capable of making that. Okay, then go make that. Ooh, nah. We just putting the slop in the bucket and we throwing it on the ground. You better eat it up. I don't want to eat that. Why don't you want to eat that? What are you, a racist? It's like, it's slop. And then those that are eating the slop will sit there and look at you and go, look at this racist. Why you got an issue with the slop? And it's like, because it's slop. I know that it's slop. It's bad. They keep giving you slop. Stop eating it. And they're like, no, they've never given us slop. You're being ridiculous. Why are you finding a problem with this? I don't care that it's slop. I can tell that this might be good slop. We haven't tasted it yet. I can smell it and I can see it. That's slop, and I don't want anything to do with it. Racist, stupid, you're dumb, you're bad, you're crazy. I can show you the goddamn ingredients list of what they put in the slop and how all of it is just garbage and trash that they got from the dumpster. And you will look at me and go, fake news. Nigga, if that ain't a perfect metaphor about this bullshit, I don't know what is.
So it's got 160,000 views and 350,000 subscribers. So he's fairly popular. And
this does not matter. That does not matter.
God, I can't believe these guys are ever taken seriously, because this is like a fucking joke of a video.
He's literally giving you facts. He's giving you facts and you haven't debunked any of them. It'd be different if you had actual other information or facts to go against his, but you don't. You're just complaining about what he's saying without any type of reparations whatsoever. You just I don't agree, I don't like it, I can't take him seriously, this is stupid, I don't care. But that's not an argument. that's a child. That's what you are. You're a big giant man, baby.
This is like, he's not even making points. He's just like,
that's all he's doing. You're not making points, you dumb fuck. What the hell? Stupid. Oh my goodness, is this what It's a Gundam has to deal with? Oh my goodness. What do you mean he's not making points? All he's been doing is making points. You haven't said anything in against it. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for you to bring up something against what he's saying that basically proves whatever argument you're trying to make about this. Like, what the fuck?
Yelling. She's black, but I'm not racist. Okay.
Because she's not supposed to be black. She's not black. And that it doesn't make you racist to get upset over the fact that a character that is one race was changed into another race. Now, would you say the same thing if a black character was changed Asian? Would you sit here and have this same fucking energy and being like, oh no, that seems like racism? Or would you sit there and actually get rightfully upset because that's fucking crazy? Jesus Christ.
Seems kind of racist, but whatever.
Just at least one of the turtles has exchanged his pizza craving for cock. Gang, they had a single woman in a skin-tight jumpsuit.
Well, fun fact, did you know gay people can still like pizza?
What the actual fuck? What is wrong with this guy? This guy, is he retarded? Like, am I looking at him? Because if he is, I shouldn't release this video. Oh no, this person actually has a mental disability. Oh my God. Why would you two recommend this to me? The whole subsection of YouTube where there's retards who talk about YouTubers. And I'm sitting here critiquing them like, what is it? What's wrong with this retard? And I was like, Daniel, he is retarded. Oh my God. What is wrong with me? I called him so many names. I made fun of his Christmas lights. That probably calms him down. Remember, this all happened because he said gay people can like pizza too. Because that's something no one said anything about. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is so stupid. God, this is stupid. You know, fun fact, gay people can like pizza too. You know, fun fact, gay men like taking dicks up their asses. What the fuck they gotta do with anything? Jesus Christ. His issue is that one of the turtles is going to be made gay. Why would they be made gay? There are no female turtles. So who would he be gay to? His brothers? Because now that's another issue. Now, I remember I had an issue with the 3D Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon that was on Nickelodeon when they made Donatello in love with April. I hated that. Yet when they had the live action movie and they had Mikey constantly trying to hit on April, I thought that was funny because it was a nothing burger. But they legitimately had Donatello just be gaga over April O'Neil. And it was like the most pathetic, oh, you're a good friend. But it's just like, why would you do this to this character? But then again, they keep constantly making Donatello the biggest fucking nerd in the world for whatever reason. They keep giving him glasses too, which also doesn't make any goddamn sense. He's a motherfucking mutant. Jesus Christ. Full disclosure, Donatello is my favorite character, by the way. But it's clear that these people are crazy. This is crazy. To make this argument, to bring this up is crazy. It's like, what the fuck? This doesn't mean anything, you psychopath.
It's a fun fact. They don't like to talk about it, but yes, gay people do like pizza as well.
Does he like pizza? I didn't say anything, but I just asked the question. He gave a fun fact, and I just asked the question. That's it. Do you like pizza?
It's such a weird thing. Like, either pizza or cock. It's one or the other. What? The fuck?
For 10 seasons.
This nigga gay. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Jesus Christ. This is so stupid. What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to mean? What did you mean? Good Lord. This is so wrong.
And never so much as sent her a Valentine. You expect us to believe they'll all alight the asexuality fence for Vernon's hairy, sweaty man-ass? Did you even own a turtle, motherfucker? You can't even handle one without washing the botulism off your fingers. Only way an interspecies circle jerk is gonna end is the quarantine tent at Elmhurst Hospital. But here's the thing. Who fucking cares? Am I the only one who's...
Obviously you do. You're making this video, dude.
I can't begin to explain how stupid this statement is this far into this goddamn video. When he's been watching his video for a little bit, and now he's saying, obviously you do. And complete contradiction to the fact that he earlier kept going, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. And yet he made his video. Do you not see the hypocrisy from this dummy? This is a straight up dumb person. Oh man. I would never want to get in an argument with this kind of person, because there's not something like, I like winning an argument, and the thing is that you can't win an argument with someone who strictly refuses to listen to logic and reasoning. And it's different if you can have it with someone that can listen to logic and reasoning and you're just having an argument. That's how debates work. But when you're going against someone that purposefully does not adhere to truth, fact, but instead just sticks to their convictions and their own made up mumbo jumbo they got going on in their head, then they don't hear facts. They hear what they want to hear, and then they say what they want to say. They do what they want to do, play how they want to play, live how they want to live, dance how they want to. The Addams Family, go!
What? Dude, if you don't care, don't make this video. It's that simple.
You too, bitch.
Laughing my balls off in abject indifference to this intersectional stupidity. Gang, I'll let you in on a little secret. Ninja Turtles, as a property, are impervious to ESG. Because even if Seth Rogen's reboot is a...
ESG, environmental social governance. This is a... It's an ESG report. Lots of investment firms will do ESG reports. And lots of guys, obviously Razorfist does it. We covered it on Fandom Initiative. Critical Drinker was talking about it, how essentially it's well, he completely misrepresented it. Essentially, the idea is that companies are willing to sacrifice profit in order to get essentially woke points upon their ESG reports. This is, of course, bullshit.
See, now the problem with that is that it's not bullshit. because as of late, actually ever since its inception, the notion of making woke content, racial diversity, gay representation, whatever, you pick it, they've made it. All of the products that have basically gone forward with adhering to those notions have not made money. They haven't. They've not made money. Ironically enough, things that essentially are done or predicated towards homosexuals, towards blacks, towards women, things that are made with the idea and the identity and the mindset that this is for them. Like take RuPaul's Drag Race. You have fucking the women of Atlanta, the housewives of Atlanta and shit like that, hip hop, whatever, Love and Hip Hop, shit like that. And then you have sports for men. These things make money as long as they adhere to the race and as long as they adhere to the people that is their target audience. As soon as they try to initiate, showcase, or highlight anything that does not fit within the realm of the demographic, you get what essentially the biggest example of this basically biting you in the ass is what happened to Bud Light. But the thing is that as far as movies go, this has never turned a profit. Is not for movies, TV shows, whatever. The idea of race swapping, gender swapping, showing it, turning straight characters gay, making female characters lesbians, doing a whole bunch of goofy shit. All of that stuff has never predicated to profits because you immediately disown your target audience to try to adhere to an audience that is not interested in your product at all. So you see how that's a problem. That's why it does not make money. It hasn't made money. I hate the Godzilla vs. Kong movie because I'm a huge fan of Godzilla and that movie is terrible. But that movie made a lot of money strictly because of the fact that all it was a stupid action movie. That's it. It didn't push anything. It didn't bombast anybody with anything. It didn't do anything outrageous. It just was a stupid action movie. People went to the theaters to go see it, and it made a shitload of money at the time when it was projected that it would not make money, strictly because other movies that came out at that same time did not generate a profit, and they kept blaming it being the fallout of the cough of you know what she did. She did it. In 19, she did it. She did it. But the thing is that everyone was wrong. A lot of the people who essentially was like, well, why don't those other movies make any money? They came out during the same time. Why didn't they generate a profit? It was not content that people was willing to see. The content of moviegoers was not adhering to shit that's like, oh, look at these, I am woman, hear me roll. Why the fuck would dudes who spend money to go see movies to go see that? Women are not the majority of people who go see movies. Men are. A majority of the time, men take women to go see movies. All right? Now the thing is that they have to want to go see the movie too. Otherwise, why would I waste my money watching some shit I know I won't be interested in? And I know for a fact she won't be interested in. Why I know she won't be interested in it? Because the bitch ain't seen the movie yet. So the actual fuck. The idea and the notion that it is like to disregard or to believe that like, no, it's actually incorrect or not a fact. That this is a actual concept or an actual organized thing that's done within different forms of media. It's not true. It is a thing that's done in different forms of media to basically, essentially, whenever people refer to checking boxes, that's the thing that has the boxes to get checked. They made something to check all the boxes. Where at first it was like, we're just saying this to be saying this. And then it turns out it was like, oh no, it actually is real. There's boxes to be checked. Do you have a homosexual in your movie? Yes. Or do you have a gay? Yes. Is your, I said a gay, I meant a black. Homosexuals and gays, they're different. Aren't they different? Something's different. Do you have a black? Yes. Is your black gay? And if so, whom are they gay with? Are they married gay or or are they dating gay? And could, if they are married gay, could they have gay child? So stupid. But yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. And then you just have us basically a bunch of people who come to realize that, oh, yeah, that's what they were doing. That's why there were a bunch of those fake jobs created recently that a bunch of people got fired from, where it was like, yeah, I'm a diversity hire, or I'm the leader of diversity and pride ethics within Disney Channel. And it's like, the fuck are you talking about? I'm here to make sure that the gays get all the gays and glitter that they want while they're here at Disney. Oh my goodness, it's a good thing I'm not monetized. Otherwise, this would be a problem.
Looked at ESG reports, we were able to clearly see that the companies essentially, they kind of do whatever they want, and then whenever there's an opportunity to put something in the ESG report, they put something in the ESG report. That's the thing. When we're talking about like represent,
how is that not the issue? That's an issue, you know, because you don't need to. You could just make content, but no, it's like, hey, we need to report that we did some woke shit, or we did some gay shit, or we did some racial changing shit, so we're reporting it. But why are you reporting it? You don't have to do that. And essentially you told on yourself to all of your audience that, hey, we legit are only doing this in order to basically check a box. It does not result in monetary gain. We're not given money because we do this. We're only doing this because we think it results in profits, and that has yet to be proven in the years that they have done this shit.
Like a Black April O'Neil. The companies might be eager to do something like that just for their ESG report. The companies are doing it cynically. Absolutely. They're doing it for a bottom line. They're doing it for $1. Absolutely.
What dollar?
But that doesn't mean there aren't creatives that are actually working on these projects that care about this type of stuff. And, you know, we saw from Ebony Warrior and his kind of just heartfelt video about Aragorn, about representation does matter.
No, it doesn't. Not when it comes to things that already exist. You cannot sit there and say there's not creatives that are doing this because they don't care, or even if they do care, because they don't. Because again, the companies are only adhering to the fact that they believe that this would result in something to be gained monetary wise, but there isn't. So why do they do this? They're being told by basically this echo chamber of people who go, this is how we'll get asses in seats, is that if you change this, you race swap that, you do this, I need to be represented. We need to see representation. That's the only way people are going to want to look at our shit. But the fact remains that no, they don't. This does not result in gaining $1. It's like, if it even does happen, it's a small little bump that does not generate a profit. It's just a little bump. If anything, you're guaranteed to lose more customers than you are to gain customers by doing this bullshit. And so realistically, him saying this as if this is like, oh yeah, but you can't forget the fact that there are people who work on this. Even though the companies are doing this to gain $1, the people who work on this are actually, like, they actually do care. Or they're doing this because of the fact that it just seems natural. Why not make April O'Neil black? Why should we have to worry about her being a different type of character? She is perfectly fine being race swapped, gender swapped, or whatever the fuck we want, because people like that. When you are making something that has a fan base, has archetypes, has characters developed, that have character development, have stories that people know and are iconic, that people care about, all of this shit that goes along with these properties that already exist, and you completely ignore in order to adhere to whatever bullshit you got going on. That's why it doesn't make money. That's why people get upset. That's why people get angry with this shit, because you clearly don't care. You only want to facilitate whatever dumb fan fiction you got, where you threw yourself in this world of this story without anything going on or any type of creative process being done to actually back up your claim to do what you did. A perfect fucking example is when IDW released the comics that had a female Ninja Turtle, where essentially they got a sister. I believe her name was damn, I can't remember what her name was. It wasn't Venus, because that was the name of the female Ninja Turtle from the TV show. But yeah, she was on Venus de Milo. But they gave them they did a blood transfusion with a foot ninja girl who essentially became a turtle herself, and her bandana was yellow. Her weapon were these claws, and the idea behind it was something that I actually thought was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool. Them essentially saving someone who was a foot ninja, gaining another relative, kind of stirring the pot a little bit with these four staunch characters, and then having someone that they can show the ropes, and then they essentially kind of have the best of both worlds, where they went from being human to now being a mutant, while they can kind of understand the notion of like, hey, you at least were able to walk among regular people and whatnot, and then feel a little bit at home and whatnot. Like, what was that like? You know, something that she can give them that they never had, but as still be someone that they can talk to and speak to on that point, and then essentially get welcomed into the family. That's what I thought they were going to do. Instead, they made it a giant fucking fan fiction where some girl threw herself into the Teen Ninja Turtle world where she was just better than all of the turtles. Then immediately, she didn't have to deal with the ramifications of being a mutant trying to save everybody, but still feeling like you're a freak and an outcast, so, you know, you hide away in the sewer. They made it to where mutants were everywhere, so she was able to walk around normal, and it was totally okay. She got a girlfriend, so she was gay and a turtle. And then essentially she just had nothing else going on aside from being better than them and everything, and she was this dumbass Mary Sue, and no one liked it, no one buy it. And IDW, did I mention that they're about to claim bankruptcy? Yes. So it's something to where it's like, yeah, in theory, if you actually have creative people behind this process, they could do something. But these people aren't doing that. They're either shoehorning themselves in because fan fictions, or they're so goddamn creatively bankrupt that the only thing that they could think of to do in order to make a character interesting, rather than just leaving the character the fuck alone and giving them all that they need to be the character that they're supposed to be, they just go race swap, race swap, race swap, race swap, race swap. Make her fat too. Yeah, fat. Jelly donut, race swap, jelly donut, race swap, jelly donut. Jelly donut, race swap, jelly donut. All right, back to the video.
You know, and that's I think that's a good parallel, because that's not an actor. That is a, that was just a drawing as well.
Now, if you don't know what he's referring to, he's talking about, it was a video that went around. A lot of people gave their criticism on it, where this black guy started crying because in Magic the Gathering, the card game, they released Lord of the Rings cards, and then they made a bunch of the characters black. Now, this was clearly done in a way to try and generate some type of wealth, you know, basically to profit off of diversity, because that's the only reason they did it. Awkwardly enough, and it's like, if people actually looked into what they did with the cards, they literally had a bunch of characters whom they had black in certain cards, but then they would turn them back white when they appeared in other cards. And some characters were basically generated as different races throughout the run that they had of those cards. So it was incredibly insensitive, because of the fact that it was like, yeah, they're not doing it with actually any type of continuity, like a tangible continuity behind it, but literally we're just race swapping characters for the sake of race swapping. And it was a guy who saw this, and he for some reason thought that that was a notion of representation. It was incredibly stupid on his part, but realistically, morons get caught up in this bullshit where they think that just because a character that is known and white is turned black, then that means that some type of representation is done for black people. Not, you know, asking for their own fantasy element or anything like that. Hell, Lord of the Rings was literally created to be white. Like Tolkien made it to appease and like give some type of history and otherworldly culture to the British, the Europeans and whatnot, because they generally didn't have nothing as far as he was concerned. And so then he gave that, and then look at the expansive world they made. But that does not mean that you need black people within that story. That generally ain't for them. Hell, you can make your own fantasy story and put black people in it, but that's not what people want. It comes together from that sense of what is it? Instant gratification. So I want a character to be big and popular that everyone knows and talks about, but I don't want to put in the effort to build that character to become as big and popular as the white counterpart. No, instead I would rather you just replace the white with the black. That way I can sit there and go, look at how great this character is. And you literally get that throughout all the due diligence that has been done when it came to like race swapping and gender swapping characters, which is why we got what we got. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's about to play that clip, but it's a dumb fucking clip, because the dude it just shows exactly how stupid he was to be this emotional about something that he shouldn't he shouldn't be emotional about this at all. But yeah.
And yeah, it touched him.
I promised I wouldn't break down today, and I'm trying not to. But the one thing I didn't get to say about this is we've seen Baranor in the Shadow of War video games, but he was a made up character for the Lord of the Rings, and
you see, like that, like to basically go, well, he's a made up character for Lord of the Rings. Yeah, but that's something that you could basically take as like, okay, that's appropriate. You know, and it was like, all right, it was a character that essentially was made up for this, but he's not overtaking what the initial intent was by making a bunch of white characters black. Because it's like, why do you seek validation for some shit like that? It's so stupid. And again, it's something that's like, yeah, you can look at it and go, all right, yeah, you made this, but then why isn't that you don't understand that the general intent behind making that character that way is generally for the concept of just cashing in on diversity. It ain't got shit to do with the actual story or as an actual character that's necessary to what it is that they're doing, but they just, you know, toss in a black somewhere, that way they'll feel represented when it's not their shit to be like, it's not theirs. Find something else and then jump on that. Why don't you associate or purchase things that are generally all black or have an abundance of black characters or shit like that? No, you don't want to do that, because you need that instant gratification. I need a famous character turned black in order for me to feel like they're worth something. Fucking idiots.
I've never seen myself represented.
And you never will, because that's not you.
In the Lord of the Rings before, so.
This motherfucker probably cries when he sees a spider.
This is awesome, because I've never seen myself.
That is gay.
As one of the main characters before, like, actually seeing myself represented in.
That is unbelievably fucking stupid. It's not. God, I'm not supposed to be responding to that video. I'm supposed to be responding to the video that's looking at that video. But that is not a good concept of that's not a means of representation. That is cashing in on stupid people and their wane, dumb, flip-flopply emotions. I've never seen myself represented as one of the main characters. Bitch, you could cosplay as Aragorn and it would be fine. But that does not mean that Aragorn needs to be made white in order for you to appreciate the lore, the concept of the story of Lord of the Rings, or even appreciate the characters. That shit ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Lord of the Rings has been around for years, you dumb fuck. And plenty of people, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, who cares, loves that book series. They love it to death. So why is it that you need to change something in order to associate yourself with it when you were able to enjoy it as is without needing for any character to be black in the first fucking place. So why now all of a sudden is it that, oh, we need representation, it needs to have representation? No, you dumb fuck. You were fine looking at it the way that it was. You just are so caught up in the stupidity that is currently going on as the common trend that you feel that this is what you need in order for you to feel appreciative of the character, when your dumbass liked the character before you even knew what skin color they were, or before you even gave a damn thinking about the skin color. I'm seeing myself represented. No, you were represented in the fact that something that you enjoy got to be put in other forms of media, showcased in video games, put in other TV shows, other movies, and things like that. That's the representation that you wanted as being a fan. But then somewhere along the line, you told yourself, or you was told, and then you thought that it was correct, that race is actually the important factor when it comes to associating yourself as a fan or being appreciative of things as a fan. And it just proves your ignorance and your stupidity.
Some form of like official Lord of the Rings media, so that's...
It's so gay.
Representation matters.
This is so gay.
Lord of the Rings has been my favorite for the longest, and I don't think they understand how important this is to me.
It's not.
How much this means to me, to see myself, be able to see myself as Aragorn. So,
like, you hear how stupid he sounds, right? Like, if you believe for a split second that this is actually genuinely sad, that's sad. Like, it's not touching, it's not sad, it's not anything. He's just crying over the fact that he's an idiot. That's all that I'm seeing. Because never in my life, I am a stupidly huge fan of Spider-Man. I mean, stupid. And I love me some Dragon Ball Z. I mean, love. Anime my bread and butter. More than anything else, anime is my bread and butter. But I love me some Dragon Ball Z. Love me some Dragon Ball Z. Not one point in my entire life did I ever sit there and think that Goku would be a far better character if he was black. Not one point in my life. Never have I associated Piccolo with being black, even though that is a general consensus behind a bunch of dumbass anime fans. Never have I associated that. Those characters are who they are, and I respect them for who they are and what they have done, because I am an actual fan. That's what that means. That's what I am. But never have I sat there and went, when the multitude of times I've seen people draw Dragon Ball Z characters black, or try to make them be black or whatever, or associate the fact that since they're called monkeys, that means that black people need to associate with them, which is also incredibly racist and fucking stupid. Never have I thought that that was an okay thing to do, because no, if anything, I'm waiting for someone to give me an appropriate continuation of Dragon Ball Z. I can't stand Super, and GT is trash, but GT is better than Super in every way, shape, or form. It's just sad that it's trash as well. But Super ain't a thing. It's not real. It literally cannot exist. But I wish that the actual animation, like if you've seen the Super movie that was about Gohan, great, I can't remember the name of it. But in the beginning of that movie, the animation that they did showcasing Dragon Ball stuff, if that was to be done on by today's standards, like they put their whole heart into it, and they was to recreate Dragon Ball all the way to Dragon Ball Z using that animation, you tell it like that's just printing money. Like my God, I would love to see something like that. That's what I want. That's my representation. Give Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z the animation quality that they deserve. Not Kai. Dragon Ball Z Kai sucked. Not Kai, but literally redoing the anime with brand new animation, with better fight scenes, wonderful action templates, things that it deserves, by being literally the greatest anime of all time. But if anyone wants to sit there and tell me that they're releasing a Dragon Ball Z movie where Goku is black, I'm gonna go fucking kill yourself. I I hate the idea already because that motherfucker ain't black. Hell, they're not even on a normal Earth.
Now, I can guarantee you there's women or possibly girls who saw the new April O'Neil and said, oh, wow, she looks like me.
If that is the case, then those people are stupid. Because April O'Neil doesn't need to look like you in order for you to feel appreciative. Now, what about the people who are Hispanic? What about the people who are Asian? They don't see that April O'Neil, so doesn't that mean that they, by definition, should not watch the movie? Because they're not being represented by their associated April. They're seeing an April that's not them. Again. So wouldn't it be that they're feeling that, hey, we was overlooked? Why wasn't she Asian? Why wasn't she Hispanic? Why wasn't she any other color of the rainbow? I do not like this Sam I Am. You see how fucking dumb that rabbit hole is? April O'Neil is white. And that's it. She is white. So it should not matter that you would sit there and try to associate or try to have this half-assery when it comes to this bullshit of, well, since they were able to see themselves as a character. No, they weren't. Someone told them that that's the way how they should feel about the character. But if they fell in love with the character before they even did this race swap bullshit, then they already liked the character. It didn't matter if they weren't black. If it mattered whether or not they were black or not, then they wouldn't have looked at the character in the first place. You see how that doesn't, it don't make sense? How the idea behind these people and their stupid racism would literally blow up in their face when it comes to actually appreciating a character. Oh, because the character isn't black, I can't look at it. Well, then go fuck yourself. You don't deserve to look at it. That's a dope ass character, regardless of their skin color. But you can only see race. So you don't need to be a part of this because you are problematic. Fuck, this guy's dumb.
That's cool.
That's gay.
I can guarantee you that happened. Just like that happened for Aragorn and Ebony Warrior. There are women and girls who saw the new April and said, that looks like me.
And
isn't that nice?
They were dumb.
Isn't that nice?
No, it's stupid.
That seems nice to me.
That is stupid, and you're stupid.
White women and girls have had plenty of April O'Neils, and now black women.
So because there are multiple white characters that exist, that means that other white characters that exist need to be changed in order to, because you've had too much of your time in the sun, so we should change it. We should give it up. We should move right along. That doesn't make any sense. That's not appropriate. That's not good. That's, as a creative, that's the worst possible thing you could ever hear, because now that means that when you make something, because of the fact that essentially, hey, let's go with the fact that a bunch of redheads within Hollywood, whether they're comic book characters or not, get changed and turned into these black characters. When I create something or release it, and I have black characters in it, they can tell me that, well, there's been too many black characters that have been appreciated. And actually, because of us changing a bunch of white characters into black characters and it not selling well, we probably should change some of your black characters into different races, because obviously they don't make money. But what I created had black people in it. I'm black. I made something with black people in it. Why can't my body of work stay the way how I created it? Well, your people had their time in the sun. Let's move on to other people's. And it shouldn't matter that I changed the race. Well, if it doesn't matter, why are we doing it? Well, now you're splitting hairs and you're being problematic. Are you racist? No, you're the racist, you fucking idiot. It does matter that the body of work, that this art is appreciated for what it is. The art. But for some reason, if you have to need this notion of I need to see race in order for me to validate it in myself, then yeah, you're the wrong type of people that I need looking at my body of work. And I would rather you skip over it to go to something else than I would for you to sit there and get your way to change it and ruin what it is that I made for your own benefit, which honestly ain't even fucking profitable. But again, that's how a dumb person would think.
Women and girls can have an April O'Neil. And I just hope they do a good job with the character. And it's a good character now. That's the only thing I ask.
Sky-smashing success, it will never supersede the original Eastman and Laird comics, the cartoon, or the 1990 fucking film. It's
Well, I mean, it's doubtful, but we don't know that. We haven't.
No, we do know that. See, that's the thing about being a fan. Hell, it's assimilated in nerd culture at this point in time. You can always judge and gauge a product based off of fan backlash, outcry, and what have you, especially when you're having something that's associated with a thing that has generally a huge backing and fan following and older people that are that are attached to it rather than younger people. It's something that has existed for many a decade that has adult fans. But you have to remember, much like a lot of people who grew up looking at Star Wars, their parents were in love with that movie and they would go see it again and again and again till that shit got imbued in their blood. And so because of that, there's some people who know the Star Wars lore backwards and forwards, play the game simply because it says Star Wars, or go see any movie because of the fact that it's associated with Star Wars. This shit has been done time and time and time again. The recognition of comic book characters such as Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man, this is shit that builds up and comes from well over past the fucking 60s. And to sit there and think that, yeah, something that comes out with that name won't be associated with some type of fandom is plain gullibility and stupidity. The Ninja Turtles have existed for a long fucking time, and the Ninja Turtles have built its popularity over said long fucking time to the point where we still get cartoons, movies, animated series about it, even though that's what a cartoon is, but we still get stuff associated with it that still has people looking at trailers, discussing and having these exploits about characters' races and where it originally came from based upon what people think they know and what actually is proven. We have all of this because that's what a fandom is. And so if the fandom is telling you that you race swapping a character as well as making that character obese, and then changing one of the turtles' supposedly sexuality. They haven't proven that yet, but it might happen. And it's what's his name? Seth Rogen. So it's a damn near high possibility. Also, most likely it's either going to be Raphael or Donatello. Money's on Donatello, but highly that it's going to be Raphael. But but you have so many people who essentially, we look into trailers, we look up information that the studio heads would say, that the showrunners would bring up, where it's like, hey, this is some information that you might not know about the movie. This is some information that you might not know about the show. Remember what happened to Lightyear. Remember how so many people understood and knew and kind of liked the idea of them doing a general separate Buzz Lightyear movie. Now, I'm just giving you an example, but they did a separate Buzz Lightyear movie, and the idea was that that's what this is. And so then the fact that they didn't cast Tim Allen as a voice actor, that kind of turned a lot of people off because he is the voice of Buzz Lightyear. But it's not something that was like, well, you shouldn't go see the movie because of this. But then remember that essentially, because of what the trailer showcased, they showed that essentially, hey, he's going to be kind of subservient to a female character. He's also not going to be as confident or as cool and collective as the original Buzz Lightyear is supposed to be. There's going to be a lot of different things about this character that general fans of Toy Story aren't going to like because it just doesn't make any sense within the realm of Buzz Lightyear. We've already had a Buzz Lightyear cartoon show that was insanely popular. Why not just copy that? You know, so many different elements and so many different questions that people brought up. And then all you had from Pixar was that they went and said, well, this is the movie that Andy went and saw that inspired him to buy, that wanted him to buy Buzz Lightyear. But the things that Buzz Lightyear could do as a toy aren't shown within the movie. So that made it weird, right? And then it's like, well, that's what you said, and it's breaking the continuity of that. And then they went on to further promote the movie by saying that we have a gay in the movie. And they kind of went full force with that. Yet, ironically, I didn't see any promotion for the gay stuff. I never witnessed anything like that. I was turned off from the movie from the jump. So I never looked into anything else. But once they started to promote the gay shit, a lot of people knew what was up. And then they was like, yeah, they're not interested. They're not going to see it. And so they just kind of bowed out gracefully. But the problem is the damage was already done. So then when the movie came out, you had an abundance of like news articles and actual news channels actually promote and showcase the fact that private owned theaters would put up warnings to parents telling them that, hey, there's some gay in the Lightyear movie. Because it's an animated movie that parents want to take their kids to without any prior notion of like something crazy was going to happen. But, you know, no, that's not what they got. They were told, yeah, there's some gay in here. They got some gay shit. Even though that's not what you want to see, or if you don't want your kids exposed to something like that, sorry to tell you, that's in this movie. And then when the movie was released overseas, they removed the gay, which is something that Disney has been known to doing, letting you know exactly how far they actually care for this representation and diversity. These people are using you to get money. It's not good that you should associate whatever it is that you feel with this abundance of fucking, what's a good word? I want to say scrutiny, or this just ridiculous repetition of rinse and repeat of ruining characters by no reason other than the fact that, hey, I want to put in this for representation, but it doesn't mean a damn thing towards this character, towards this property, or anything like that. It's just what I want to do, so put it in there, and then you get what you get. And it's like, and no one saw the Lightyear movie. It bombed massively, and now the fact that we have insight that, hey, one of the turtles might be gay, April is fat and black, the shit looks bad. The turtles themselves are not even in the realm of teenagers. They got them as prepubescent, so now they sound ridiculous. They're screechy voice and whatnot, and it doesn't look like it's going to focus on action or even have that be a mainstay of the series, but more so just these side-eyed comical jokes that really won't hit because they're going to be targeted towards an audience that probably ain't even going to watch this movie, or their parents won't even allow them to go see said movie. And yet, you, as someone who essentially is a fan, you've seen things, you looked at things, you understand how trailers work, you understand how fandoms work, cannot associate that, yeah, if this movie has so much negative connotation added towards it, what the fuck makes you think that it would ever be bigger than the previous works that came out that essentially allowed it to get to this point? That's not how that works. It's one of the reasons why I argue all the time that One Piece, going into anime right now, but this is again just another sidebar, or another tangent really. One Piece is the biggest anime in the world currently, but One Piece will never be bigger than Dragon Ball Z. And that's because Dragon Ball Z paved the way for everything that One Piece is building on. You see what I'm saying? And that's only because of when Dragon Ball Z came out, right? Like, it came out during a time where it reached worldwide acclaim before looking at anime, like pirating anime online wasn't a thing. So you see how that works, or you see how that's like how I'm associating that. But essentially, that's what's being done with this movie. This movie has already lashes against it that are just gonna be a huge ding in its profitability. I do not think that this movie is going to get a lot of money. The Turtles themselves, they do generate profit, but I do not believe this movie is going to get a lot of money, considering that animated movies have been kind of going on the downward slope as of late. As soon as they showcase woke shit, and as soon as word of mouth spreads that, hey, there's some gay shit in this movie, or like they were telling the truth about some gay shit, or that the April O'Neil character is just ridiculous, anything like that, it definitely ain't gonna make no damn money. But it will never be bigger than its original connotation, because of the fact that the original connotation wasn't stemmed with a bunch of negative aspects. It wasn't something that a lot of people were able to criticize, to talk about, or to get angry at. People appreciated what they did and they enjoyed it, and then it became something that they loved. And the fact of him being someone that's associated as a fan or whatnot, not understanding that's fucking weird. That's just so weird to me.
Seen it, dude.
Simply is what it is. Nickelodeon's profound fucking failure, The Rise of the TMNT, was at least as politically proselytic as this dog shit, right down to the race-swapped April O'Neil, might I add.
Hey, it was already done before, so why do you care?
See, again, now this goes back into his whole thing of saying, like, why do you care, when he was like, he doesn't care. You see, and it's like, but he just explained that it was done before in something that was canceled, and no one liked it, no one watched it. So, how do you not understand it? Like, again, see what I'm saying? He hears what he wants to hear. So it doesn't matter what facts Razorfist says. This dude is gonna be ambiguously ignorant because he's stupid. He's just very stupid.
Here's the thing, folks. No one fucking watched it when Michael Bay.
Well, actually, I heard there's lots of crappy things about that series that had nothing to do with Black April, Neil. So, yeah.
Blew himself for 2 terrible turtle films. The fans fuck.
Yeah. Those Turtles films were bad, and this is a new iteration, and it's good. There should be a new iteration. Listen, when you do multiple iterations, they aren't all going to be winners.
The Lamentations of the Stupid are very, very stupid. Just because there's multiple iterations of something doesn't mean that they all, like, that a lot of them will be bad or whatnot. No, they all could be good. Michael Bay has this tenacity to not look into the things that he's making movies based off of. Like, he does it all the time. That's why the Transformers movies sucked as hard as they did. But you also have the stipulation that comes with a bunch of people in Hollywood believing that they know better than what the actual fans know, which is one of the things that has been ruining a lot of content for years, as it were. Them having a new iteration for the Turtles only stems from the Turtles' popularity. Yeah, there are always going to be different iterations for the Turtles. People enjoy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're amazing. But if you have everything at your disposal, whether it be the animation, the writing, or even the style that you want them to look into, you can do it to where it's something that is good and people can actually like it. Just because it's a different iteration doesn't mean that you just got to take it at face value of like, well, it's a different iteration, so come what may, as long as they keep getting shit done for the Turtles, I'm happy about it. No, it should be done well. It can be done well. You have people at your disposal that can make this a good thing, that can make it a good movie, that can make it a wonderful movie that people would want to see. But you don't want to do that. You want to check boxes. And also, him going trying to bring up or talk about the fact that it's like, well, April O'Neil's black and that's not what ruined the show. And it's like, well, that's not what his argument is. His argument is that doing things badly and associating with the Turtles is not what makes people want to see it. When you do things correctly, people enjoy it and want to see it. Hell, perfect example is The Last Ronin, which has been a phenomenally sold comic. But that's like the only thing that IDW has been able to sell, which is why they keep re-releasing it and shit like that. But it was a phenomenal comic that people loved because it actually gave homage towards Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles correctly. It handled the characters correctly. It did things well. It was a good story, being something new being done to the Turtles, but at the same time being a worthwhile concept. But it wasn't something that was like, they just threw out whatever, made a bunch of characters race swapped, and then just had the same old tired on tacked story of them fighting Shredder. That's not what it was. That's not what it was, because it was actually handled with some care and some ineptitude. So why is it that this movie couldn't have been handled that way? Why didn't the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles be handled that way? That show was a show with some fantastic animation. But I've never even wanted to look at it. I've seen some of their fight scenes and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of okay. But it was never anything that I wanted to actually sit down and look at. I kind of wanted to look at the 3D one that Nickelodeon had. But even that, I stayed away from it because they treated my favorite character bad. And I do not like it. Them having Donatello being a simp. I do not like that, Sam I am. So nope, stay away. But you see how, just because they make iterations and all of them can't be winners, it doesn't mean that you can look at this and go, but they're not even trying to make this good. They're trying to make this diverse. And that's not going to put asses in seats. Why is it so hard for you to understand this?
Ignored it. There's too much.
Just because past iterations suck doesn't mean the new one's going to suck. That's not a good argument.
It is when the new iterations are repeating the same mistakes that the past ones did. The ones that sucked are doing like the ones that sucked, and the ones that's about to come out are doing the exact same fucking thing, if not 1,000 times worse. Hell, at least Megan Fox was ambiguously raced and cast as April O'Neil, but now you straight up got a giant black girl or a real turtles girl. And you think that this is gonna go over well? People had an issue with Megan Fox being April O'Neil. I, for one, was kind of like, but the movie itself was kind of ridiculous. Hell, the second one had them think about wanting to become human. Well, that's never happened with them. But it's not, it is a good argument. It's a good argument because it's like they're not changing what was wrong with the characters in the first place or what the past iterations did that was poorly received. Jesus Christ.
Much good shit to watch, play, and read to bother bitching about the bad stuff. This franchise is so utterly well established. When social justice jackassery such as this attempts to infiltrate, it's not even that it's opposed so much as it's dropped by the roadside and left to rot in obscurity. TMNT is bizarrely bulletproof, and it's one of the reasons it rules, which is why it's goddamn gut-busting that some see this as some sort of line in the sand. And if
How many iterations of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have you seen? Because there's been so goddamn many. This isn't like the first one in 20 years or something. Like,
what the fuck are you talking about? How? That's not an argument. What does that mean? How many have you seen? What the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't mean anything. He's telling you that it's bulletproof, and you're asking how many iterations have you seen in order to confirm that he knows what he's talking about. He's bringing up the actual creators and talking about the different comics and the movies and shit like that. Obviously, he has seen a lot. Now, I've seen Razorfist's other videos where he goes into talking about his fandom of TMNT, and hey, nigga knows a lot. He knows a lot. But that, again, like, that has nothing to do with the subject matter of what he's talking about. Again, like, are you refuting anything? Because it just seems like you're challenging shit, but he's giving you all the information that's needed to showcase that he knows what the fuck he's talking about, and then what he's talking about has some truth to it. But you're just not saying anything. The fuck?
there's been plenty.
Hangry Joe is any indication, it's the same sand he's got in his vagina, accusing publicly everyone from non-white comic artist Gabe El Tayeb, I apologize if I mispronounced that, and the decidedly suntanned...
Oh, this is Angry Joe. Racist. April O'Neil is white, not black. I'm tired of being replaced. This is BS woke, woke, woke. Non-racist weirdos. I don't care that she's black, but why isn't this 12-year-old hot, sexy, ugly, and fat can't wank? Rest of us, who the fuck cares? It's a good movie. Base take from Angry Joe.
No, it's not. That was a very dumb take from Angry Joe. It was incredibly dumb and ridiculous because, again, it's something where it's like, okay, you're complaining about the fans wanting the character to be the way that she's supposed to be, which is what they fell in love with, rather than the obvious the obvious giant shift into being something else in order to try and earn a couple of bucks off of idiots who might find representation and shit like this. Because it doesn't mean anything and it doesn't come from anywhere, but it's just something that they generally do. It's not a base take. It's a stupid take, which is why he got destroyed for it. And then he kept trying to double down and renege on what he was saying because it proved exactly how ignorant Angry Joe is. He was in front of goddamn, what's his name? Jeff Keighley? Yeah, Jeff Keighley. When that motherfucker just, boy, if you didn't think that he was an idiot then, it's like this motherfucker was in front of Jeff Keighley and he could have complained about anything wrong with the gaming industry at that time and how Jeff Keighley basically perpetrates that shit. But instead, he brought up shit that Jeff Keighley was just backing him on. That clip is so hilarious. And he just going blow for blow. He like, what are you talking about? We got all these games. Angry Joe just looked like a fucking idiot. Oh man, that clip is so terrible. And it's like, and the fact that other people brought up, and it was like, you could have talked about this, but you didn't. It was like, well, Angry Joe's an idiot. Did no research. roughed up in front of Keely and just got destroyed on his own shit. Oh, man. And all it did was give Keely more power, which he does not need. Based.
Based fucking take. Is that one still up? He got that early. That's an Angry Joe tweet with only 74 views. He got that fucking early. Let me do a search. Let me see if I can find it. Because
Jesus Christ.
I definitely want to share that one.
Jesus Christ. This guy's a fucking idiot. Like, views don't amount to shit. Like, this thing does not mean that, that was good, that was bad, it just, oh man, Jesus Christ. And then it's like, oh, I need to, like, this guy.
Get into this. I know they had a feud. I wasn't able to see that much of it. I've seen parts of it. Oh. Did he do a video? No.
Oh, yes, he did. Eric July did do a video on Angry Joe.
Interesting.
Angry Joe called everyone racist.
Here's Derek again doing...
Because again, if he paid attention to what the tweet was that Angry Joe gave out, was that he literally called everyone a racist for being upset at what they're doing to April O'Neil. Like, that is literally what he called. He associated them as like racist and then I believe also Nazis at some point, which is a horrible thing to say to anybody. But that's what he's associating these people. There's like me, I'm black, and this shit angers me because I grew up watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ever since I was little. I had VHS tapes, toys, you name it, I had it. Love the Turtles. Hell, I used to have the fucking turtle house shoes. My God. And the fact that they were making a black April O'Neil is something that generally upset me. I'm not going to go watch this movie. I don't want to see this movie. I fucking like to review movies in my spare time, but I don't want to waste my money on seeing some shit like this. For what? For Seth Rogen? Hell no. Get the fuck out of here. I don't give a damn how many stars they put in that movie. That shit doesn't make up for the bullshit that's obviously going to come with this craptastic movie that they're going to have. So no. It's not based. It was something incredibly stupid to say simply because of the fact that he feels, it's totally cool that April O'Neil is made black and chunky. And it's not, let alone the fact that she's like 12. She's supposed to be a grown-ass woman when she meets them. They're supposed to be the teenagers. She's supposed to be grown. It's fucking weird. It's so goddamn weird. It's so weird.
His bullying crap. Big YouTuber rants about myself and others, calling out false claims about April O'Neil and likens me to outright evil things. These people's energy would change off the internet. That sounds like a threat again. Oh, and look, he's calling him a pedo. Nice. Angry Joe, I think you need to apologize for popping off and having your fans come at me. I wasn't talking to you. You were only shown because some moron had quote tweeted your tweet. None of what I said applied to you. It's weird that you think it.
See, that was another thing. If you've seen Eric July's video about it, I would recommend going to see it to get kind of the meat and potatoes about this whole thing. But yeah, see, the thing with Angry Joe was that he was saying what I said didn't apply to you. I wasn't talking to you, but the tweet that he said was a generalized statement, right? That anyone that is feeling this way about this character is a racist. So Eric July was saying that he feels that way about the character, and you're calling me a racist, but I am a black man, and that's angry about them turning a white character black. How does that make me racist? Especially when everyone has the information and the facts that prove that that character was never originally intended to be black, which is the main argument behind them justifying turning April O'Neil black. She was never intended to be that. So the fact that that is something that you would associate or that you claim is what makes me a racist is something that he generally kept bringing up and talking about and then getting on him for. But Angry Joe, being the person that he is, sat there and constantly said that, no, I didn't mean you. I wasn't talking about you. I'm talking about someone else. There's other people that are the racist, not you. You're not the racist. And it's, again, just reneging on the fact that, hey, you said some dumb and sensitive shit because you are a dumb and sensitive shit. And that's all that there is. That's all that there is. And the thing is that he just kept doubling down because he didn't understand exactly how stupid that he was. You called everyone that does not like this a racist. That is bad. Simply because they do not like this. Hell, even when I believe that people think that, oh, representation is good, I don't say that they're racist. I just say that they're stupid. Because it is stupid. That's stupid. But to say that, oh, you legitimately hate other people, creed and color because they're not your own. Yeah, I didn't say that. Fucking idiot. And then this dumbass is moving right along with him because he's just that goddamn stupid.
It's your energy that needs to change. True. I'm not apologizing for shit. You put in the post. You put in the post. It's still up, and you include me. If you're excluding me. And
Jesus Christ. Does he have like a reading disability? Like, is it hard for him to read shit? Like, Jesus Christ, he repeats the same lines over and over again. Because again, this shit is obviously going over his head. I feel so bad. What if he's retarded? I don't know. I just don't know.
Didn't mean it, then go ahead and detract the post or add and clarify. Gabe isn't a moron, by the way. Stop with the hose shit. Words to think it did. Your post included me. If that was a mistake, say that, but don't act like it's some sort of irrational proposition. Of course you aren't. And you also want to threaten me in person over this shit?
Jesus Christ.
Got a big head thinking I'm over here directly addressing you in my tweet and now doubling down. Real tough guy over a cartoon character. That's the real hose shit. Stop embarrassing yourself. I didn't threaten you. I've heard that one before. But you absolutely should be pulled up on and facing the people you like into pedos are racist. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Jesus Christ. You said you're going to come at me in real life if you see me. And I want to have this energy in person. What? You injected yourself. I should be pulled up on.
You see, now that was the other funny thing about what Eric July said. Because it's like, you have this energy about saying what you're saying about people online. But if you see them in real life, would you still have that same energy? Like, would you be saying the same thing? Which, of course, a lot of people wouldn't. But again, it still rang true to what he was talking about. You're liking me to a bunch of characters I don't associate with and I don't want to deal with. So with Eric July, he took great offense to that shit. And so then he said what he said. Now, Angry Joe, being a little bitch that he is, basically, it just immediately went and jumped to the whole, you're threatening me, you're threatening me. But it's like, you were saying all of these things about me that in real life would get you beat the fuck up. And all I'm saying is that if I ever see you in real life, I'm going to ask, what is up? Like, why am I associated with these characters that you so claim that I am? What exactly about what I'm about is similar to these things? And with Angry Joe, it's like, oh, that's a threat. Is that a threat? Because there's no way, shape, or form that a coward would ever want to face confrontation. It never fucking happens. It never fucking happens. He is a whiny little bitch, and he's very dumb, and he just have these stupid ass takes. And basically, I'm looking at another guy that essentially would be someone on that same level of just clapping back to everything that Angry Joe does as like, yeah, that's a good move from him.
Calm the F down. You're being purposely offended now. You ain't got to get bent out of shape. It's over. I said I'm coming to see you in the event that we're in the same place. I didn't inject myself. You're the one that made the tweet with me in it. You absolutely, you should be pulled up on by people who liken to fucked up things. Doesn't matter who they are. Quit with the dramatics. This is slight work. Jesus Christ. Derek. He's doing the exact same thing he was doing to me. Exactly the same playbook.
See, a rational person understands exactly where Eric July would be coming from. Again, I'm upset that you're connecting me to a group of people that I don't want to be connected with. Regardless of what you think, you still got millions of followers on all different platforms and whatnot who essentially would probably think of me like that. It's the same thing for him defending himself because of the fact that he was connected to it. Angry Joe didn't, Angry Joe just went and kept saying, like, I didn't mean you. But that doesn't change the fact that you basically still associated him with it. I believe, like, he used, like, a screenshot of his or something. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It was kind of a while ago. But, and it was just that Eric July just had those words of, like, yeah, I'm going to ask you, if I see you in real life, I'm going to ask you, yo, back up what the fuck you said. While with Angry Joe, being the coward that he is, it's, dude, drop it, leave it alone, drop it. And it's like, yeah, you quickly want to run away from some shit when you know that it's going to be a problem, which is exactly what this is. This is a fucking problem for him because, yeah, he doesn't want to be associated with that. You said what you said without thinking of the consequences behind it. And with Eric July, apparently there's consequences. And the fact that this motherfucker now got what, thriving comic book company that's just getting bigger by the second and all this other shit going on with him. And it was like, yeah, it with someone like Angry Joe being the idiot and the coward that he is, yeah, this is something for him to be like, oh, well, hey man, just let it go. Like, why are you taking this shit so seriously? And it's like, you don't understand how serious what you said was. It was serious. This is serious. But yeah.
I do feel like Angry Joe is kind of bringing up Derek in that tweet. But you know what? Derek should be included because...
Who's Derek?
He's doing the same shit.
Does he mean Eric? His name is Eric July. Why do I keep saying Derek?
Because Derek August is a goddamn bully who injects himself into fucking everything. He complains about how he's always targeted when he always injects himself into shit.
Eric July of being, and I quote, racists! And over on the YouTubes, corporate court jester Blondre Hack Nerd accused anyone mocking this design as merely being upset because they can't beat the fuck off to it.
All right, now, me personally, I used to watch the Black Nerd dude. I used to watch him. I used to look at some of his content, but then it got to the point where it became insufferable because I understood what kind of nerd he was. At first, it was like, he liked Power Rangers. I like Power Rangers. That was cool. But then it got to the point where it was like, yeah, you're someone that does, like, you just, again, you eat the pig slop. You have no, like, he went to see the first test screening of the Turtles thing. He went to go see it, and he thought it was amazing. And then when the trailer came out and people were asking him, it was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you claim to love the Turtles as much as you do, how did you not see anything wrong with what it is that they presented? And it's like, no, he's someone who just enjoys the pig slop. He's similar to that guy who's crying when he saw those fucking Star Wars trailers that was about like the things with Rey and whatnot. And he was just like bawling his eyes out because it was just Star Wars. It's similar to that. It's the exact same thing, actually. These people don't care. Like, they can call themselves fans all they want, but they don't care. Which is why it hurts when people see them act the way that they do or say what they say. Because it's like, no, that's not why people are upset. You're marginalizing and trying to generally, I would say, give rationality towards the change, towards what's going on, towards what's wrong. When realistically, what people are upset about is a legitimate reason to be upset about something. April O'Neil was never a character that you needed to beat off to or anything like that. Hell, her design in the the TMNT movie, the animated TMNT movie that they had, her design in that was okay. And then even how she looked in the TMNT show, which isn't connected to the TMNT movie if you didn't know, but there weren't anything that was like, oh yeah, like that's super hot, super attractive. No, April O'Neil was just a girl with a can-do attitude that was a reporter, and she got into the shit, and then she gets with Casey Jones, and that's it. That's generally it. She's a strong female character without the need of going and saying, I'm a strong female character. So it was never anything that was like, oh yeah, people they gotta beat off to this. And I was like, who the fuck been doing that? Who's been telling you they doing that? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The issue is that she's black and obese. That's a weird thing to do to April O'Neil, who's supposed to be running around in the sewers with these turtles. Why would you do that? Jesus Christ.
Even in the comics, she's had different drawings and designs, and in some of the issues, she was drawn as a black or mixed woman. Let's just say.
And she wasn't. She really wasn't. That just ink. Back in the day, ink and art, shit happens. Shit happens. But she was not drawn in different designs to be depicted as a mixed race woman or anything like that. That's just what the look was. That's just how it came out, and some people associated with that. But the actual creators, again, something that Razorfist already stated and gave you factual evidence for, was originally designed after an Asian woman. She was named after a black woman, but the final result was that she was white. She just had a perm at one point in time because that was a popular hairstyle in the 80s, which is when this fucking comic came out. That's it. That's it. That's all there is to it. It is not hard to understand. It's not difficult to understand. This shit is very simplistic, but you have people who essentially lap up the slop. They look up anything and they're like, they just look at it. They only get face value what they've been told without doing their own due diligence and research, and then that's it. And it's fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. She ain't black. She ain't mixed.
What you really feel. You want to fuck April O'Neil in the 80s animated series, in the yellow jumpsuit and the boobs.
What an odd thing to say.
Whoa there, Andre. You kiss your wife's boyfriend with that mouth? Confession by projection, party of two.
Well, why do you care about how attractive she is? It's a cartoon character. It's the same shit with that fucking green M&M. She's not wearing the sexy boots, so, you can't fuck her anymore.
The fuck? See, again, now he just did what the black comic nerd did. So you saying the sexy boots? He called the boots sexy. I didn't say anything. Razorfist didn't even bring up the M&Ms. Again. So he thought the green M&M was sexy. And then they got rid of the boots. And then he was like, oh, well, they got rid of her sexy boots. But I still like her. I'd still fuck that M&M. His words. And again, you saying, why would you care about the cartoon? Razorfist didn't talk about the cartoon. He's saying that it's weird for him to bring that up. Especially, again, like I've said, there have been different designs of April O'Neil. He's talking about the 80s cartoon. That's what the black nerd dude was talking about. He's talking about the 80s cartoon. Again, the April O'Neil design I liked the most was the one from TMNT. I just like the way her hair was. This is cool. But I grew up watching the 80s cartoon. Never once was I was like, man, I want to fuck April. Like, that's a weird thing to say. That's a weird thing to think when you're looking at a cartoon, especially as a kid. And then if you just grew up looking at that cartoon, the fuck? Like he said, yeah, it's... And again, he admitted he is the one who brought up, like, oh, you want to have sex with the older April. And you brought up the whole M&M thing. You're the weirdo. It's not the other way around. You can't pass the buck. No one brought that shit up. You said it. It's like you're sitting in a room and everybody's talking about politics, and then somebody goes, well, why would you get upset if you get peed on the face? Whoa, what the fuck? It's like, who's talking about that? Why would you bring that up? I'm just saying it's not that big of a deal. No one's saying anything about it. Why are you bringing it up? I'm just saying it's not that big of a deal. Oh my God, you want to get peed in the face? Like, you want to get peed on? Like, you just want us to know that that's what you want, you freak. No one asked. No one asked. You nasty. You nasty.
So now I'm offended. Like, why do you care? Yeah, Black Nerd is awesome. I haven't seen his stuff in a while, but he's...
Jesus Christ, the fact that he thinks he's awesome. The fact that he thinks he's awesome. He's not. Like I said, I looked at his content before, because I thought, like, hey, you know, it's kind of okay. He really isn't that funny, but it was like, you know, in terms of him just getting information, a lot of people like to have his ass go places to where he finds out shit early on. But he's what I consider a bad nerd. Like, I consider that, because it's like, yeah, he's someone who, yeah, they tell him left, he goes left. They tell him right, he goes right. His general consensus of things, or when he talks negative about stuff, you know, he's not positive all the time, but when he talks negative about things, it's generally because the popular opinion is that it's negative. Ain't got shit to do with how he feels about something. It's just that the popular opinion is this, so then that's where he goes. And because of that, I can see where this guy would basically really enjoy him, because those are bad nerds. Like, your fandom or your integrity, you're really, that's generally what it boils down to. You don't have integrity when it comes to being a fan. You're a fan. So no matter whatever pick slop they give you, you're gonna lap it up. But you got no type of integrity when it comes to this content. And that's not something I stand for. I cannot abide by just looking at something and taking it for face value, not giving a damn to, like, care. Because it's like, I care. I have a passion for this shit. If I'm wasting my time collecting figurines, looking into this, the history behind characters, reading up on it and stuff like that, then it for damn sure better be good. But if it's not, oh my God, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Yeah, I'm gonna say something about it, because I got integrity.
Awesome. He's always been awesome. Yeah.
I mean, you do you, bro. Literally. But the first place my brain box goes when watching a children's cartoon from '87 isn't to the Spank Bank. I mean, we know why it's the first place you and Hangry Joe would go. The only STD you'll ever contract is carpal tunnel. But with Blondre specifically, let not his piss poor view count to subscriber base ratio deceive you. This
You mean like Derek's? Because Derek has a bad ratio too. You want to go after that one? Oh, no, you don't want to go after that one, because he agrees with you on the political spectrum. That's right.
Decuman douche.
What the fuck do politics have to do with this conversation? What the fuck? Now, again, that was actually a genuine argument. You know, the fact that he brought up what the Black Nerd says over what, you know, Eric July or whatever. But he wasn't bringing up Eric July's account or anything, because he's not talking about a video that Eric July did. He was talking about the fact that Angry Joe went after Eric July and was it Al-Taib, because of the fact that, you know, he said what he said about them. That's what he brought up about Angry Joe. So, I mean, that's what he brought up about Eric July. So your argument here is kind of ridiculous, because what he's talking about with the Black Comedy Nerd dude is because of the fact that it's like, hey, he says what he says, and he has a piss poor subscriber count to viewer ratio. And so what does that tell you? And again, like I said, they keep flying this motherfucker out to see shit, and then he goes, oh, it's so amazing. I can't tell you guys nothing, but it's a big secret coming up. And it's like, it's so cool. And then it's like, oh, this is what you saw. And he's like, finally, you guys see what I saw. Isn't it great? And it's like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
News made mainstream television appearances, and by hand.
Yeah, and you want to know why? Because he's not a fucking bigot, and he's not a bully.
What the fuck are you talking about? Bigot and bully? What the fuck are you talking? No, nigga, there is a huge, I mean huge concept that's done within all forms of media where they predicate whatever they can to people who agree with them on every single spectrum and fucking color of the rainbow. They don't care how they do it as long as they do it. They don't give a fuck what hoops they have to jump through. Those people will jump through those hoops to make sure that the almighty dollar and the almighty corporation is happy. They'll sit there and showcase and propagate their fandom for stuff as much as they have to. Look at all the figurines I bought. Look at all the stuff that I bought. Look how much I know about these characters. But then it's like, do you think you can agree that what we did was right? And it's like, as long as I get more shit and I'm associated with this shit that I love, yes. Yes, 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 and more yes. It has nothing to do with being a bully and a bigot. It has everything to do with the fact that those people are willing to lie down, turn over, to do whatever it is that someone else wants them to do, and they're willing to get fucked hard and long to do it. So they'll showcase and be, I'm a nerd, look at me being nerdy, look at me doing nerd shit. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with actually being a fan or having passion for the shit. Fucking idiot. He's not a bigot. He ain't got no integrity. He ain't got no kind of integrity.
He just makes entertaining geek videos. We need more of that. on this platform especially.
Entertaining.
Jiving Seth Rogen's terminally untalented ass, he doubtless hopes to retain his insider access and continue his feverish consumption of corporate cock. Besides, this is quite evidently intended.
Black nerd comedy is I don't even want to say he's worth a billion Derek Julys, because that just underestimates that overestimates what Derek is worth, because Derek is like a negative onto the community. It's not like
Jesus Christ. All right. Didn't know I'd be defending two different people. Just so you know, Eric July, more than anything, you can say his home station is fucking comic books. Like that's his thing, right? Like he knows comic books. Eric July hated what has become of the comic book industry. I mean, he can't stand it. And he has every right to be this way, because he grew up loving these characters, loving this industry, and he knows so much about it. Eric July then went out of his way to make his own comic book company. And he has been doing very well. He has been doing very well with his own company, while talking about the negatives. Like, he's gained the money to make his own company by talking about the negatives of said industry, which he loved. And that is beautiful. That is fantastic. That is fan-fucking-tastic that he was able to do something like that. To the point where, realistically, now we're at a point where Disney is losing money. At some point in time, they might sell off being associated with all these characters. And if they do so, Eric July has stated before, he will be willing to purchase those characters to actually give them what it is that they rightfully deserve, which is someone who cares about the industry handling those characters. So that's not a negative onto the fandom, onto the industry. That's someone who generally saw a need and was willing to fill it. No truer words were ever spoken. Also, go see the movie Robots. It's fantastic. But it was something that is done to where he's constantly criticizing the stupid aspects, the poor aspects, the dumb aspects that don't lead to any monetary gain within an industry, but do everything that they can to check boxes. And he talks about how wrong it is, how bad it is, how stupid it is, all the way down to the cheap paper that they use to make their comics. And the dude is making millions right now. Only selling 2 books! He only sold 2 books and he made millions. How does that not enrage anyone that's in the industry to do better? When this guy came out of nowhere from fucking YouTube, of all places, and he's making millions by doing something associated with an industry that you guys have been in forever. But you look at that and you associate that as a negative because of the fact that, hey, simply because his politics are one thing, or he talks about some things that you don't agree with or that you don't care for, or that he even shines a light negatively on something that absolutely deserves to have a negative light shine on it, or just a fair assessment of criticism on it, you believe that he should not be as popular as he is, or should be as well off as he is, or anything like that, which is fucking crazy. Because none of the stuff that you might associate with him as a negative, whether it be his politics or what he talks about offbeat from comics or anything like that, that has nothing to do with his actual comic, which is just something that he made. So it doesn't have any of that concept in it. It's just a comic. But it's like, oh no, you need to understand that he's a negative. With all the shit that the black nerd dude has done, how come he's not associated with anything that actually would have been a creative under him, considering how much he likes different things? And again, what Razorfist is talking about is the fact that he'll do whatever it is that they tell him to do, which is why I say that hoe gonna turn over because of the fact that it keeps him in the mainstream aspect of all the stuff that it is that he likes and is associated with. So he'll suck the proverbial cock as much as he has to, as long as he gets to meet the actors, stay in the know-how of being nerdy. Hell, the little clip that they showed of him doing a little Power Ranger thing, he was moving around like a fucking idiot. He looks stupid. He knows he looks stupid, but he did that because that's the brand that he has to to associate with. That's what he has to keep up with. It's sad, but that's what these people do. That's what they're willing to do. They have no passion, no integrity for this shit. They just really, really like it, but there's no integrity behind it. Eric July had integrity, so he did something with that. You and the black comedy nerd, the black nerd comedy, whatever, you two don't have integrity. You just lop up anything that you see or anything that you read or anything that you're told. This is a new thing about Spider-Man, so I'm gonna like it because I like Spider-Man. This is a new thing about this character. I'm gonna like it because I like this character. This is a new movie. Well, I can't judge the movie based off of the trailers when literally that's all trailers were ever meant to do. To judge whether or not you're going to go see a fucking movie. That's the point of the trailer. If they didn't do that, then they wouldn't release trailers, you dumb fuck. Jesus Christ. This is annoying.
He's worth little. He's a negative on the community.
He's
we need more Andres.
Yeah,
more Andres and less Derek's. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, you see, like I said, Andre hasn't done anything with his fame, power, and accolades, or like meeting different people and shit like that. Eric July actually created his own comic book company and is getting a bunch of backers and a bunch of people to enjoy reading comics again, buying a lot of his stuff. He has different iterations of the book, whether it be, you know, different varying colors, varying covers that only come into like 4s or whatever, doing actually positive in the comic book industry that generally isn't being done in the industry anymore. And he's making bank off of it because he's seeing and associating that, hey, people actually still buy comics. People actually like comic books and they like characters if they're done well. And showcasing and highlighting that only could be a positive for the industry. It doesn't matter that the bigs in the industry, being DC and Marvel, the big guys in the industry, are failing at this. As a whole for the industry, he's hiring comic book artists. He's hiring good writers. He's actually keeping a continuity that people can follow from reading book 1, 2, and 3. It's something that's nothing but a positive. You just don't like it because you just don't like him. Hell, I don't buy comics, but even I'm considering, maybe I'll get that. That I won't, because I don't buy comics, but that's not my bread and butter. But you seeing that this actually is doing good for the comic book industry. He's hiring and talking to actual veterans within the comic book industry who are letting him know, and he's letting them know, yeah, we know what's up. We know how to do this right. We know how to make some fucking money. So let's go do it. That's nothing but a positive for the industry. Not for Marvel and for DC, who are constantly losing money, but it's a positive for the industry. But you can't understand that because you ain't got no what? Integrity.
For children. Some turtle shit like the original comics was intended for adults. I mean, who the fuck else would a blood-soaked simultaneous satire and tribute to Frank Miller comics be engineered toward? Others, such as the 87 cartoon or the shit souffle known as the Next Mutation, clearly catered to the kiddies. And then there's those rare few, such as the 2012 TV reboot or the 1990 film, that appeal to both. Mutant Mayhem is suffused with a self-same stink of failure as the rise of the TMNT.
Okay, I haven't seen Rise, but like I heard that the style was bad, and yeah, I don't like this look. That being said, the new movie, the look is way better. Like I prefer that look much more.
Apparent attempt
that's not English.
The kiddies that's far too preoccupied with propaganda and diversity quotas only a.
And again, you talking about basically the look of the Turtles thing. That shit ain't got nothing to do with the argument that he's saying, dude. And it's like you're just saying something, like you just bringing this shit up, but it ain't got nothing to do with the argument. Like, Jesus Christ, God damn it. I'm not gonna edit this down, by the way. So if you still listening, like you stuck it into the long haul, but shit, you should know I took a break before I did this. Like, yeah, I broke halfway through. But Jesus Christ, like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, you heard that the style was bad or whatever, and you didn't see it, so you ain't got a dog in that fight. So you move on from that argument. You don't have a dog in that fight. But factually, like he brought up, it did not sell well, and then they canceled it. No one watched it, so they canceled it. It wasn't worth the money that they spent on the bitch, so they canceled it. I don't give a fuck what you think it was. No one watched it, so it got canceled. The fuck?
and Antifa give a fiddler's fuck about. It's all but designed to fail to find the audience it was engineered for, and that is as it should.
Now keep in mind, guys, he already said he doesn't care. He doesn't care about this. Why would you get upset? He clearly doesn't care about
This guy's a fucking idiot. This guy's such a huge fucking idiot. Like, he's making a point about why it is that you should be okay. Like, essentially, why you should be okay with the fact that this is going to happen. And we can't change that this is going to happen, and it's not going to make money. But he's letting you know that, yeah, when the turtle shit is done right, it makes money, and it's actually popular and well done. But when it's not done that way, then it doesn't make money. And because they're such well-known and well-liked legacy characters, that they're going to be fine, because eventually, someone's probably going to get it right. Someone's probably going to do it the way that they need to be done, and it's going to justify everything. But more than anything, it's the fact that you have to understand, like, people need to understand it's okay to just let this shit go and not make any money. Now, me personally, I don't believe in letting shit go. Like, just, I say dog them down until they can't get up no more. Kick that dog when it's down all the time, because fuck them. Fuck them for ruining anything that I hold near and dear to my heart. Fuck them. Especially if they're not even going to do it right. Fuck them all the way around. I don't give a fuck. But what he's saying is just that he's just basically giving a general statement. That's it.
See, there's a name for a property intended for everyone, appealing to precisely no one, and purchased by even fucking fewer. PS5 exclusive. I'm Razorfist. God fucking speed.
Jesus Christ. That was fucking garbage.
Now, I guarantee you he's going to ignore all the factual evidence that Razorfist said. This is me guessing. Again, I have not seen this video all the way through. I bet you he's going to ignore all the evidence that he said, all the factual stuff that he talked about, and everything that he brought up in order to facilitate the fact that he believes that the video was bad or wrong simply because Razorfist was like, he didn't care. So why is it that he cared so much to make this video? Watch.
Holy shit. 350,000. I am working way too hard at this YouTube thing. Even half-assing, just replying to these guys. I'm like, Jesus Christ. This is garbage content. Garbage. Yep, that was Razorfist. That is the Razorfist that everybody talks about. What a dipshit. I don't even have anything to really say about that other than that. Like, if this wasn't a thing that was taken seriously, I would assume it's a fucking joke. Just how bad it was. Like, I couldn't make a parody of, like, some edgelord conservative any better than this. Like, this guy's fucking goddamn parody.
Again, what was bad about it? You're just saying it was bad, but none of the information that he gave was wrong. None of the stuff that he talked about was off the books or off the rails. Everything that you've brought up has been basically hearsay, but he gave factual evidence as to why a multitude of people who essentially associate April O'Neil as black are wrong, irrefutably wrong. And you have nothing other than the fact that you just believe that this is bad, this is wrong, this is really bad. So what's bad about it?
I'm a edgy conservative. You can't handle my edgy...
What the fuck does him being a conservative have to do with anything?
Comedy. That's what this guy emanates.
Not one point in time in this entire video did Razorfist say anything about his political views. Not one point in time. You're bringing it up, but it ain't has shit to do with the video that he just did. So why are you bringing it up? Is it because you know that about him, and then for some reason that's associated with everything that he does? Because that's fucking stupid. But he didn't say anything about that. You're saying something about that. The fuck?
What's the matter, guys? To challenge it for you? That's my job. I'm meant to challenge people. If you don't like being challenged, don't watch my shows.
It's absolutely sad.
Yeah, that clip was weird. But then again, I cut before the clip, so that made it a lot worse.
pathetic, really.
Alright. So, that was his thing. That was his video, and he put in one little clip at the end. Oh man, I don't do that on these videos because they're so goddamn long. I just kind of shell them out. But yeah, Organized Chaos is a big fucking idiot. Yeah, never seen any of his content before or any of his videos. I do know I looked at Just Some Guy video that was talking about like a podcast that Organized Chaos is on, and on that he was talking about anti-fans, which is a term I've never heard of before, and it was just silly, and it was just really silly. But yeah, there are a lot of people that essentially are like this within fandoms. You got like hell, the saddest ones to me are the anime and manga people, because they're just so goddamn terrible. And that's anime and manga's fault, but then those fans just make it 1,000 times worse. So yeah, that's that one for me. But you gotta understand, like it's wrong, it's bad. You know, this is like when people sit there and they just jump down people's throats because they sit there and go, "Why are you upset that this character was race swapped? Wasn't it like a Percy Jackson character got race swapped?" And people were like, "Yeah, why would they do that?" And they're like, "Oh, why are you upset the Percy Jackson character race swapped? This like, don't you think that it's okay that they're changing their race?" And it's like, no, it's not okay. The character wasn't that. Why are we changing it? What is the significance of changing it? How does this improve the content? How does this make this better? Other than the fact that people believe that this is something that they need in order to see themselves in something, or rather it's not some type of weird fucking fan fiction idea or something like that. This shit is dumb. This shit is very, very dumb. It's so goddamn dumb. It's stupid. But you just have so many people who need this constant, agonizing, flashing lights in their face that tells them, hey, I like this, or like I need this to look like me in order for me to be happy. And you don't. You so don't. But these people like the Organized Chaos guy, they're so dumb. They live in an echo chamber where truth does not exist. Logic does not exist. It's just a silent room where they're just sitting there screaming at all the plot points that they think are right and good and just great, and everyone else just needs to shut up, because if they don't, then it's whatever their political view is, whatever their racial connotation is, whatever it is that they support, all is a factor on why they're wrong in whatever it is that they're doing. It's so fucking stupid and sad. This was bad. This was really, really bad. Because that was not a good retort towards Razorfist. So, yeah. But this was a long one. I appreciate anyone that was able to stick around for this long. But yeah, that was me defending Razorfist. So whether you agree or you don't, I don't care. But if you had fun, I'm glad you did. I hope you had fun. I had fun. But yeah, this has been another episode of Fun with Flame. I've been your host, Danieltheflame, and as always, good people, I hope you had fun. Hey, real quick, make sure you check any of the links down below if you want to see any of their stuff that I'm involved with. This includes more episodes of my podcast, as well as a comic book that I'm working on with my buddies over at These Guys. But as always, this has been another episode of Fun with Flame. I've been your host, Danieltheflame, and as always, good people, I hope you had fun.